This is Comic Burrito. A live stream. I'm Todd.
I'm Nick. There's no Cole.
And we are short of Cole because information technologies have kept him from us. Servers need to be served.
You think he says that when he gets done? Is he like, you got served?
I hope so.
On his way out. Cole,
it's sad during my IT days that I wasn't saying that to servers.
he might be watching because I don't think he had to do that till a little bit later. But
maybe he's sitting next to a server with Comic Burrito on. But
Cole, tell the server that it got served from me.
Yeah. That'll mean a lot. Hey, King Paul, if this is replay, what's up? Otherwise, maybe check you later. Farts. Classic intro for Poser. Hi, Poser. What's up, Sam the King?
No, I don't.
Sam the King. Nope. That's weird.
What do you mean?
He has a really good green screen.
Yeah, I could touch on that real quick. I'm upstairs, and not in my normal spot because my son was a close contact at school, so he's quarantining in our basement, which is where I usually do this. So you get to see my fish tank, which is very dirty, and I tried to clean it up a little bit, but it's okay.
That's dirty?
Yeah, it should be like clear and not like pond water, but
it looks very clear through this. So
okay. Well,
what's up, D Piercy? Hello. How's everybody doing? How are you doing? I usually am used to saying everybody. I'll ask the chat and you. There's usually more than one person to ask this.
Me?
How's it going? Besides, having the stress of COVID once again invading your life.
That's what I said to my wife when we got the email and stuff from the school. It was like, I don't want to do this again. Like, I really don't. Yeah. I really don't.
I mean, thankfully, they've just been close calls and not like calls.
Yeah. So it was like someone in his class tested positive and he's fine. He's good. We've been checking his temp and everything and keeping an eye on him. And so far, so good. So we're not freaking out or anything, but we're just trying to keep it safe.
Crossing the fingers. All the fingers.
That's all we can really do right now, right?
Turtling.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're hanging out and doing our thing.
Living in your own world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so different than
the last year.
The last couple days, yeah. No, or couple weeks. Yeah. No, he was really excited to go play Fortnite and have the basement all to himself, and his brothers and sister couldn't bother him, and he was just like so excited when we told him or gave him that option because we weren't going to make him do it either. We wanted him to make the choice on it, and he was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a blanket fort and I'll have all my Harry Potter books, and he was so excited. And then today he's like, I'm so bored. It's just
day one.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, buddy.
He has you go downstairs and he has like a notches going, but there's only one notch so far.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't.
I can't handle it.
But no, otherwise doing well. Weather's we've had like sunshine the past few days, it's been really cold, but sunshine is nice.
It's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I love there's snow but sun. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you finish any large collections of books you may have bought?
I finished East of West at like midnight on Thursday, I think it was Thursday. I hit issue like 43 and it was like there's only 2 more, so I guess I'm just gonna stay up and do this finally because it's been 9 months since I started East of West and then didn't get the final issue, so just waited and waited and waited for the hardcovers to come out, and it's just a great book. Yeah, I really, it's difficult. I'm having a hard time right now because there's so much other stuff that I want to read, but I also kind of want to read it again.
Dude, I read it in 2 days, and I was like,
I know you did.
I was like, I kind of just want to go right back through it. But
I think I could do that, especially because I reread a lot faster than I read. But I read just year 1 in 1 day and was fatigued. So major props for being able to do that, because year 2 and year 3 is longer than year 1.
Yeah, but
each year gets a little bit longer.
And I was reading them digitally, which I think makes me go faster because there's just no transferring from book to book. And like I was like making dinner, so I would just like bring it with me, and then like in between like stirring or something, I'd be like bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh, I know he's drunk, but it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, it's my favorite BKV, and I know people get upset about that, but because Saga and Y are both fantastic, but Paper Girls is my favorite. I was going to ask you, Todd, because you read a lot of digital, do you prefer, I mean, and you have your fancy iPad, so do you go full page, or do you like going panel to panel?
Oh no, full page.
Full page. Like, okay, that's what I like.
Every once in a while, I'll like zoom in if I really like need to, but it's so close to like
full size.
It's like a it's the same.
My Surface is it's a little bit smaller, but it's
when I have to do the 2-page thing across.
Yeah.
Is when I sometimes have to be like, I just want a little bit more detail or something, but most of the time it'll do.
I mean, and that's we're just waiting for the new iPad that's foldable, right?
Yes. No one's bougie like Todd, so that doesn't mean anything. I'll switch my
Poser, are they different? Are they different, Poser, than the ones the list that you sent me earlier? Because you sent me a list earlier, but whatever ones that you have that are extras.
1 through 6.
We should talk about that. We should talk about that later.
Because he doesn't need 1 through 6, so just send them.
Yeah, I'll give you like $50 for 1 through 6.
For Saga 1 through 6. What's the trade going? Is that one of the $10 image trades?
Yeah, so
I'll give him 20. That's a good deal.
Yeah, double, and I'll send you my trade.
Wow, what a deal! My goodness. I don't think he's gonna find a better offer than that.
All right, well, Poser, my list has not changed since I sent you which ones I am missing. So whatever you have I want you to fill my holes, and I want you to put your shit in my shit, and let me know which ones. There it is. Let me know which ones you got, because I'll take whatever ones you have, and I have a lead on 3 issues of Black Hammer, which is something that we're about to talk about too.
We should talk about that because
it will leave me with only 1 issue to go before I have all of the current issues. So Black Hammer.
Let's talk about Blammer before we have our guest on, because
Blammer.
We can figure out comic book trades later. On our Discord, which you should join because it's amazing. If you're not on there,
the link.
So there is a channel in our Discord that you should join and then check out. It's just called Black Hammer. We're gonna do a weekly read along, starting from Black Hammer #1, and at least going through Black Hammer. If people are really digging it and liking it, we will continue through. Yeah.
It is.
I might rename it to Blammer because
I like that a lot. I'll drop a link to the Comic Burrito.
Cool. So if you're wanting to join, this will be like the Saturday that we're starting to read, and then each Saturday after our guest, or maybe before, just depending on what scheduling looks like, we will talk about it, and we'll also talk about it on the Discord as we're reading it. But we'll just be reading an arc a week, essentially. You can break it up however you want, however you want to read over that week. We're gonna go Saturday to Saturday arc at a time, and then either move more into other Black Hammer universe stuff or switch up the book. We don't really know what we're going to do after we're done with Blamer.
Well, it'll be, if everybody is loving Blamer and they want to, and we want to keep going with it, then we'll do that. If everybody wants to try something different, we'll try something different. And if everybody hates it, we won't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. We can just quit. You could just, come February, just get the first and the second, and then just catch up.
February, you don't have one. You don't have one.
I'd give you a Hoopla credit if I could. That should be a thing.
Yeah,
that should be a thing. I don't use mine. I never run out of Hooplas over the month.
Yeah, you got like a week before we're even going to talk about the first trade, so you got a little bit of time.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out, Poser.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I bet you Cole can just send you his library edition. He's not using it.
Yeah, he's read it enough times. He'd know.
Yeah, you could just move it. Just ship that to Poser. Sure, it's cheap to ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. Paper Girls and Descender are two amazing comics.
Paper Girls, Descender, Paper Girls, Black Hammer would be a really good top 3 for me.
It's a top 3 I would respect.
Yeah, that'd be a good top 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's my top 3, but
yeah, anyways, get your hands on the first arc, or if you need to wait for Hoopla, February 1st, just read the first and the second trades, and we will be talking about it each Saturday, and at least definitely on the Discord as we're reading it. So there will be spoilers, which is weird for our channel because we try to keep away from spoilers, but it's kind of old.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read it at this point, you should jump on it because all 3 of us love it. It's one of the few books that I think we all love Black Hammer. So that's why we're starting.
I've been waiting to reread because there's stuff coming out now. I've missed some stuff in the middle because I was getting trades, and I think volume 3 wasn't available on in stock or something. So I missed stuff. So I need to catch up and go.
So come join us. I think it'll be fun. Hey, what up, Manny? We both hit it. We both hit it again. That's good stuff. Sup, Manny? How's it going? How's our favorite author that's tied to an orangutan in the Vietnam War doing? We have to wait 30 seconds for a response.
We just sit and wait.
Spoil me. We will. Every Saturday after this one. All right. So now that we've gotten our announcements out of the way, that's a thing that we do regularly. We have a new Drive Thru coming through. Going by the name of Frank Martin.
That was fancy.
Oh, yeah. That took a few months ago, almost an hour for me to create.
How's it going?
Good, great,
good,
fabulous.
Good. You have a book or a Kickstarter.
I do. It's been live for about 2 weeks now. We got about a week left.
I did notice earlier that it is fully funded as well.
It is a couple days ago, which is
congrats on that.
It just lifts the weight off your shoulders, so you're just like, okay, it's all fun now. I don't.
It lifts weight off of my shoulders being a consumer, knowing that I love backing Kickstarters that are fully funded because it's I know it's gonna happen. I don't sit there for 2 months with my hopes up and then it's oh, it didn't make it. Plus, it's cool seeing so many other people that are interested in it and want to get into it. But do you want to tell us a little bit about?
Sure. I'm one of these people. I don't launch a Kickstarter until a book is at least 90% done. So there was never a chance that people weren't going to be able to get it. I'm kind of anal like that. I have to finish something when I start it. So I only go with Kickstarter when it's all said and done. But the book it's a sci-fi adventure mystery. It takes place in the near future. It's about scientists off the coast of Antarctica. They go diving under the water to kind of this uncharted territory, and they go missing. So then a bunch of rescue divers have to go in after them, and the mission really doesn't go as planned.
Yeah.
If it did go as planned, it wouldn't be much of a book. They find them, then they get back, and they were just to dinner afterwards.
The batteries ran out in their phone. They brought a charger. They were like, "Oh, cool! Thanks for the thanks for the help." And they just
they went down there and they're like, "Guys, what are you doing?" They're like, "We're lost." And it's like, "Oh, come this way."
Yeah, that was it. They were like 10 feet under the surface. They just jumped in and
they just turned around. Yeah.
And it becomes just like an office sitcom, but based in an Antarctic exploration team.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess with your spin-off. That's obviously coming.
Well, we haven't read issue. It's a two-parter, right?
Two-parter, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't. Maybe
we don't know
sitting here right now. Like, thanks, guys. Now we got to rewrite all this stuff.
I did also for everybody. It's in the description. The link was not working because I did not put https:// in it. It is now there, so you can go down there, click on the Kickstarter link. You may have to refresh, but YouTube will remember where you're at, and you can click over there and go check it out because it's really great.
I'll entertain this because it's $125, and Poser's been having a good night.
I mean, I'm a writing slut, so I will write whatever you want me to.
I've done a lot more for a lot less.
I'm saying that's not bad. That's not bad per page, right?
That's not bad
per word. Per word.
Word rate. That's pretty good.
Seems like a decent rate. Yeah.
I always put that up there. At least once or twice, somebody snags me on writing a commissioned short story, and I mainly came up with that out of jealousy because artists they just, especially at conventions, people walk up to them and they just give them money and they just draw. And they just have their head down the entire time. I'm like, I want to do that. I just want somebody to pay me, and I'll just whip out a typewriter at a convention and just
just do it.
I'm working here. Leave me alone. So
that's amazing. That's so good. Because I've commissioned multiple convention artists whilst at the convention for like things. I never thought about asking a writer like, hey, can I get like 200 words? How much is that going to be?
You write me a poem for my wife.
As a writer, when people are walking by, you always feel like you have to engage them because you're not doing anything but there to sell books.
Like,
artists are just like, hi,
and then you can be like, see, I'm doing something.
I'm busy. So if they want something like, it's $5, they just
they just keep going because they're still working. They're like, this is the next issue right here.
You'd hate me though, because I'd be like, I'd have a stack of cash, and you'd write, and I'd be like, okay, a little bit more. Just like here's another $5, a little bit more.
No, you got to bring a thing of pennies, and every time like, okay, here's another one, another letter. You pay me by the letter.
Oh, hold on. Check Discord. He says.
I don't see anything, Poser. You're drunk. I'd say you're drunk, go home, but you're home, which is why you're on here.
Well, there's too many channels.
There are like 15 channels on our Discord.
Just text me.
Put it in the side of queso.
Oh, there you go. There you go. He
literally did that.
Can't really see it.
Oh my God, he did it. He pledged $125.
Gotta get creative with this. Thank you.
1,000 words about why he's better than us. I don't think you need 1,000 words, but enjoy.
It's gonna be like The Shining, and it's just gonna be like Poser is better than comic.
Well, thank you, but you screwed up my game plan because I haven't unveiled the stretch goals yet. So now I was going to do it tomorrow, so now I got to push them all back.
Yeah,
because I've already hit them all.
Oh my God, a stretch goal that involves us getting bashed on would make my life. That'd be hilarious. It's just the Poser stretch goal.
There, I'll put it in. There you go. All right.
All right, there you go, Poser. Thank you for supporting Frank.
Yeah, thank you. I will.
That's amazing.
I am rigorously looking forward to it.
I love how many comics he could have gotten with $125, and he spent his money bashing us, which makes me just so happy.
Yeah, it really does.
That's so much better than the thumbs down he usually gives us in the nasty comments.
I like how quickly he got to that too. He honed right in on it. You go check out the Kickstarter. He's like, oh, okay, can I do this? I'm not want to.
Yeah. And I love that it started. 125 is a very specific number too. It wasn't like hey, $100. It's 125.
That's
a week of pull list to dunk on Todd. Amazing. Hey, just so you know, you're starting a war. I will burn some money to go the other way.
Here we go.
It's gonna get nasty. So Frank, what's the going rate now to go against Poser or to supersede his?
You gotta wait for book 2.
I'm an community anarchist. You know, I'm just level playing field across the board. So
he makes $250 showing up on our podcast. And just write an essay about the two of us.
Well, you know, the funnest thing I ever did on a live stream was me and my buddy, who's an artist who has a live stream. We had a bunch of people on, and they just threw out ideas. And we said, I'm going to write a story, and he's going to draw a pinup for the story live on the stream. We didn't know what it was, so they just threw out ideas. And some wise ass just threw out a bunch of random words. It was like bunny rabbit, Nazi, monster, hot air balloon, banana. And he's like, he didn't think I was actually going to take that and run with it. So then that was the story that ended up going.
And that's how Polar Paradox came in, right?
Exactly. Somehow I twisted that into something about Antarctica.
Oh, now it makes sense.
Been through a lot of iterations. That's amazing.
Who did your artwork again?
So the artist's name is Antonio Mastria. He was in Joe Kubert School graduate. I met him from a local con. I was tabling and trying to sell my books, you know, talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And he walked by and he said, I'm an artist. And I said, oh, I'm a writer. And we exchanged information. And a lot of times that doesn't really work out, you know, when you try to hook up with somebody like that. But I asked him what he wanted to write. He said sci-fi. I gave him a couple options, a couple pitches. He honed in on this one. And he threw out some designs and I wrote up a synopsis. And before we know it, we're off to the races. We're making a book.
Is he doing the colors too?
He did do the colors. He was hesitant about doing the colors. And I said, give it a shot. And, you know, the colors have been one of the most talked
colors
about.
Are pretty important in this book.
Yeah.
And they're very good.
Especially because we had this problem where there's no light source really for the story. I mean, there's a submarine that's got lights and the suit has lights, but we had to find another way to light the book. And luckily down there, animals give off their own light. You know, they have
bioluminescence. Yeah.
Fancy long ass word. So he utilized that to kind of just make the colors pop with all these creatures.
It's cool. It gives what is a really classic styling, because it goes from a very classic style and then all of a sudden you almost go into like a new world and it's just like, oh, it's obviously the same art, but it gives off a completely different feel as soon as like that flip switches.
That double page spread that you had to zoom in on.
That is one that I zoomed in on.
You know, it's funny because everyone was like, this is so weird. It's like going to an alien world. But this book was actually inspired by a National Geographic article that was pretty much about exactly what the story is. You know, it was about scientists. They were in Antarctica. They wanted to go into this sea that nobody ever been to before. And they went down there and they snapped a bunch of pictures of all these crazy animals.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is perfect for a comic. So I kind of screenshot a whole bunch of them. I sent it off to him. I said, do this, you know, make these on the page. And so they're familiar creatures, you know, jellyfish and crab and sharks, but they have a little bit of a twist to them because, you know, they
evolved separately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I love every time there's a story about like this cave has been untouched for 50 million years. It's like my favorite thing, and I'll read all about it because I love it. And so this is like right up my alley because I'm like, those places are so cool. It's also where like who knows what like the fuck could be going on there because it was completely detached from us, so it evolved a completely different way, and it's really interesting. So
because it's Antarctica, sure. Call up Dark Horse. Well, who has Alien vs Predator now? Because Marvel just did their fancy alien variant cover.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a crossover, I think, aren't they, this year? Isn't there an Alien Marvel or there's an Alien something?
So I know Alien is with
Marvel. Marvel has aliens. Yeah.
They just did those cool covers, but I don't know what Predator is. But is Alien versus Predator like its own license? Like I don't know how it works.
I think they're intertwined. I think it's.
Did Fox own Predator too? So now
I think so.
There says Marvel owns them.
Marvel owns them both now.
If you believe him, then
it's only a matter of time before you're going to get a Alien versus Predator versus Captain America.
Yes.
I was thinking Batman was the first one that was off the top of my head, but obviously he wouldn't do it. But who's a good Marvel character that would fight Alien Predator? Moon Knight. Here you go.
Ant-Man.
Moon Knight. Ant-Man. He's like sciencey.
Yeah.
Stuff. It could be dealing with that. Captain Marvel.
Oh, Punisher. That would be
Punisher. He is like a Predator already.
He's just an Italian Predator without dreadlocks.
An Italian Predator.
I would maybe read a Wolverine.
Wolverine versus Predator versus Alien.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean Wolverine would have pretty good advantage, I think, but
I could see Alien blank versus Alien versus Predator being one of those like one shot runs that they do, like the what if type things and all that.
Just have a different character every week.
Yeah. Spider-Man versus Alien versus Predator.
It's just it's like 1.5 pages.
Pounding Deadpool. What is that thing called? Its tongue? I don't know. It's got a fancy term.
Yeah, it's little mouth tongue.
It's mouth tongue.
Mouth tongue.
It's different. It's different than a normal tongue because
it's a mouth. It has a mouth.
We have
in the mouth
technology. Let's see what Google calls it.
Mouth Groot versus Alien versus Predator.
Alien mouth tongue called.
Squirrel Girl versus Alien versus Predator.
Mm-hmm. Howard Duck.
It doesn't have a name.
It doesn't have a name.
It's called inner mouth, and it consists
inner mouth,
piston-like tongue tipped with a secondary set of jaws located inside the creature's mouth. Tongue mouth.
I don't know how you evolved to have one of those.
Crazy sight.
Yes. Lockjaw versus. This is gonna be the whole time. It's just Poser's gonna be.
What about?
He keeps pitching Marvel ideas to us. I think he's so drunk he thinks we're Marvel again. So, at some point, we usually ask, "Do you have like a big 2 or 3? It can also be an image thing that you have like." And you don't need to actually pitch the idea, but do you have like that character that you really like would love to write for, or that like universe, if that's how it would apply, like Guardians?
I love taking like B characters and just making stories about them. You know, everybody's got Spider-Man stories or Batman stories. Yeah. I love Man-Thing. I would have loved to do a Man-Thing story because I feel like, well, there's 2 different versions of Man-Thing. You know, there's the old like 70s Man-Thing. He was basically like a kind of where he was Swamp Thing. You know, he was kind of just like a guy that got like messed up. You know, he's wandering around. But then more recently, they have a Man-Thing that's kind of like just a creature that's in the swamp. You know, and I feel like he's one of these characters. He doesn't like go through stories. I feel like stories happen around him. You know, he's just a big thing that bumbles through, like hey, and so I would just go to town, like having Man-Thing just go on all these adventures.
I also think it's generous to call, no offense, to call Man-Thing a B character.
Well, what would you call him?
C character, to be generous, I think, because I don't want to offend any Man-Thing fans.
When I first started,
those are my favorite characters to get new ideas into because they haven't been overwrought or like anything. Like you can really make something special out of these characters that don't see a lot of like main time to be like their own.
When I first started writing, I primarily started writing as a prose writer. So I jumped into writing fan fiction. I mean, that's how kind of everybody gets interested.
Yeah.
And I did a Man Thing fan fiction, and I did a Shocker fan fiction. I was another one, the C-list Spider-Man villain. So I love giving these guys like their time in the spotlight. So I just
that's cool.
Where Shocker just gets these incredible gauntlets that just are super powerful, and he just goes nuts and he goes insane and just starts tearing apart New York City. So I was like, yeah, I would love to do another a Shocker story too.
Do you think you get like a little bit more creative freedom with some of the smaller characters that way? Like you can get a little bit crazier with it because there's not so much
continuity
stuff like weighing you down. You can just like, oh, this guy, and
maybe. I've never had the opportunity of working with a Marvel editor to see what that's like, but I do know that they wouldn't want you to like make a guy too powerful and important. You know, they don't want Shocker to do anything that's going to have any serious ramifications that will affect their makers. You know, so
yeah,
that's true.
It's kind of like Doom Patrol. Like they do big things, but you have to explain why the Justice League aren't constantly being like, "Hey, the universe is exploding. Can we get some help, please?"
That's one of my favorite thing about comics is seeing when one character, like one book, they have a Earth-threatening like leveled threats.
Yeah.
And they come up with some excuse. Oh, the Fantastic Four is on a mission in another dimension. They can't get there. I love how they go down the line listing all the characters why they can't help out.
Yeah, that is my favorite too. Like the excuse, because you're like, shouldn't Superman be showing up at some point? Because
just take care of this real quick.
Like everything's going poorly, and we're depending on a guy with like a bow and arrow. And I know they're strong, but
I know this Joker war is intense, but Superman could probably take care of this pretty quick. Even the Flash could
he could show up
real quick.
Like it's like what 5 seconds out of his day to alleviate a little bit.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I always get frustrated, especially with the Flash, when there's a universe stopping a universe threatening events, and the Flash is in his own world, kind of doing his own story, and it's like we stop this storyline now to have our Endless Winter tie-in because it's.
Oh my God! Don't get me on Endless Winter. What the hell? Who has an event during an event after we've had so many events? What the hell?
Before another.
That's one of the reasons I can't really connect with Marvel now. It seems like they're just kind of skipping from event to event rather than tying them all together. I mean, I grew up in comics in the Bendis and Millar era when they went from like Disassemble to Civil War to them, and it seemed like it was a continuous
another thing after another thing. Yeah,
they were just stumbling from Civil War 2 to that
idea. Here's an idea.
It seems like they're throwing stuff at the wall trying to make it stick rather than just making it roll from one into the next. Yeah,
which is always interesting because you'd think an event would help solidify continuity. When if you keep having these events that are disparate, you're eventually just doing random stuff that doesn't actually like. One thing doesn't matter, and it makes it feel like the stakes aren't there because like, okay, whatever happens here doesn't matter because we're just going to do another thing over here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That always bothers me because I want to see the ramifications and I want to see it roll into the actual story. If you're going to do this, have it be like a thing.
Yeah, they had so many like aftermath books, in the House of M.
So many aftermath.
They had Decimation was for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And then they had Dark Reign was for like a year after Secret Invasion.
That's how big of a deal it was, which makes sense. Like it was like, the universe is torn asunder. That might affect a few things for a little while.
Yeah, and the way they did tie-ins back then, it wasn't like you had to read this to understand the story, but it was just this person in this part of the world that's being affected by this bigger thing, and it was just seemed more seamless rather than them trying to smash and work.
Yeah, it felt organic. Like it's just like it doesn't actually matter what Ant-Man's doing right now, but it's interesting to see how it affects him.
Little story.
It doesn't.
My favorite one was in Civil War. Was the Wolverine tie-in. It's just Wolverine had his own Civil War arc in the main Wolverine series. And I love Captain America and Iron Man are just fighting each other, and Wolverine's like, nobody's going after the actual guy.
Yeah, there's stuff over here, right?
Yes. So I was like, it was the perfect story, because something else was going on. You didn't have to have no idea what that is, but you just knew what Wolverine was doing during this time.
Yeah.
So
good times. So you're a Marvel guy, it seems like.
I'm mainly a Marvel guy. But you know what?
Who's your character? Like, who's your?
I'm a Spider-Man guy.
Cool. All right.
So Spider-Man's my book that, like, it doesn't matter how bad it gets. I'm just gonna always pick it up every month.
Green Lantern's that guy for me, but Spider-Man's in that circle. Like, if I had to, like, if I was like, I only have $4 to spend per month on a book, it's Green Lantern. But if I have 8, it might be Spider-Man and Green Lantern. Batman, I'd have to like know where they were. It would be between Batman and Spider-Man for that second book. So much respect for the Spider-Man.
Flash is probably my guy for DC. That I didn't read DC for a very long time, and then I got suckered into the New 52. That was my DC jumping on point.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people didn't like, but for me being introduced to DC like that, I thought it was perfect.
I really liked New 52. There's a lot of stinkers, but there's a lot of good stuff in there.
There is.
The Animal Man run, Justice League Dark.
I really liked Swamp Thing.
Thing, New 50. Yeah, there's good stuff. Green Lantern, that's one of the best Green Lantern runs that has ever existed.
So even though Flash was one book that I'll pick up every month, when everybody asks me, like, would you want to write a Flash book? My always answer is no. I wouldn't want to, because I feel like Flash is just too overpowered. I mean, they obviously find ways to challenge him and such, but I'm like, I wouldn't figure out how to write a story about a guy that's just super fast.
It's the Superman syndrome where it's like, what problem do you give this guy that seems real, but also isn't like already done then too?
The problem is that he needs to learn how to slow down. And it's like every time, right? And then every time it's like, how does he solve this? He goes faster than he ever has gone before. I love it, but that's what it is.
Learn how to time travel while time traveling. There's some other layer. It's like, what?
I can not even moving there.
There's a thing on our show that's a tradition of.
I'm pinned.
We started during the pandemic.
I wasn't prepared for this though, so I don't know if
you just have to show just either you have pants or there you go.
Proof of
pajama pants, not the first pajama pants, and not even close to the worst. Stoney Williams, when he was first on our show, he was wearing Nickelodeon Ren and Stimpy pants, and he was not prepared. He was embarrassed. I think they were the best pants we've ever had on the show.
Embarrassed me. You know what I would want to do for Superman though? If I would want to give Superman a villain that was just like a serial killer, just like give him a Batman villain and just see how Superman handles it.
That's one of my favorite things about Injustice is Joker. Superman.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's just like Superman's used to just people running at him, and Joker doesn't do that. Joker makes you have to he messes with you and then makes you have to make tough choices and stuff like that. And no one fights Superman like that, so he loses hard.
My favorite Flash concept is, I think it's James Tynion has said that he would like to write a Flash book where you see it from normal people's perspective. So like you wouldn't see Flash because he would just be running through. And you would just see the effects of him.
That's like in the CW show where for like 7 episodes they just called him the Blur.
Yes. He was the Flash. Yeah.
Like when are they going to call him the Flash? Like this is dumb.
That show was so good for so long.
The first season was definitely awesome.
I like first and two.
That show, as horrible as it's gotten, is what got me to pull Flash. Josh Williams' Flash. So Williamson's Flash.
Williamson's,
yeah.
Williamson's Flash, my goodness, he did a good job.
Yeah, his run started off very good too. And as I was saying, when everybody asks me, what do you think of it? I say he gets a lot of momentum, and then they throw this friggin' like Dark Knight's metal at him, and he has to somehow tie it in, and it just loses all the momentum, the steam that it was building.
My biggest hurdle with that book, and it got much better. He got his momentum back towards the end, and like the last like section of it, I thought was really good in comparison. But the strength force and all of that, I literally was like, like it was so good, and it felt like I got hit by a truck. It's so sad.
I would have liked if he would have, like, the other forces and stuff were fine, but I would have liked if it would have just been like just the strength force, and he could have built on it a little bit more. And
like,
instead of just there's all these forces and all these things, and there's not even time to explain them. And yeah,
I mean, that's what it was originated as.
yeah.
It is that, and I
have not seen Brightburn yet, but I really
like Red Sun too.
Red Sun's a good book. I liked last summer I bought I like when my LCS takes all the runs and they put them in a pack and then they give you
a bundle. Yeah,
I did that with American Alien.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool book.
Yep, man. I don't know if I've read that since it was a thing.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a series of one shots taking Superman through his life, like as a kid, and then as a high schooler, and then junior reporter. So it was, you know what? If you ask me to describe one of the issues, I can't do it. But for some reason, I felt like I liked it when I read it.
In my brain, I'm like, I remember liking it, but I'm trying to remember.
For me, that's all comics. So
that was East of West, and he just read that.
I loved East of West. The problem is that I read it as it was coming out. So, and there's so many characters that I'm like, who the hell are you again?
It was tough reading all at once.
Yeah, it was that. And also Lazarus it's still going on. It's my favorite book that's on the shelves.
So
that's Gibb.
And he's spouting lies again, but
are you as drunk as Poser is?
Yeah. Hey Travis, the going rate is $125, and you'll get an essay from Frank about how
the going rate is. He just paid more.
Oh, well, now the going rate. We at least know it's that.
He goes, "I want to make it extra juicy."
Yes.
Well, we brought up CW and Superman. Have you guys seen the trailer for the new CW show? I know Todd probably doesn't. Superman and Lois, I think it is.
Oh, is it Brandon Routh?
No, it's the Superman and Lois from the Crisis crossover, which I really did not like.
Well, Brandon Routh was Superman in that, wasn't he?
He was a different.
No, I get it, but he was in it, right?
Yeah.
I was really excited because I like. Oh man, Travis is on. I'm talking about Superman.
Do you watch the Arrow shows?
I used to. I've fallen out.
So he plays.
Oh no, he plays Adam.
Yeah, he plays Ray Palmer. Yeah. And then the show, he also played Superman. So it was like
That's why I was hoping they were gonna do more with him because I like him as Superman.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to have a good script
for a minute, and then.
Now they have their own Superman in that realm.
Kingdom Come Superman.
It's Kingdom Come Superman.
No, that's who Ralph was.
He has a suit. He has a Kingdom Come suit, pretty much.
That's who he was. You didn't watch the crossover?
No,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I liked it because it was.
Yeah,
I did. Because you know what? It was just like.
I didn't watch anything else really leading up to it because they were like, "Oh, you can watch just the crossover," and I said, "Okay." And
you know what? That was terrible advice. Whoever gave you that advice.
And you know, because what it is it's Infinite Crisis, right?
It's
Identity Crisis.
Infinite Crisis.
It's multiple. It's Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, that.
But on the episode of every single series, they tell you it's coming. So every single episode before that is a build up to the crossover.
Okay.
So Arrow the entire time was basically Oliver Queen going from universe to universe as this wave is wiping them all out. So he's basically running from the crisis as it's happening. And then
I will say it did help me understand that whole overall crisis better than I understood it from trying to read some of the comics and stuff.
It was cool because they basically said every single DC show or movie you can imagine is canon because they all have a cameo in it. You know,
yeah, that's cool. I mean,
and then they had the Arrowverse Flash, and they had the DCEU Flash. They kind of had them together, which is kind of it was meaningless, but you know it was cool because you never expected it to happen.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's neat.
But
yeah, I don't know if I could. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever watch it. But
no, story-wise,
I think it was only 4 or 5 episodes.
Something teenage Todd would have been just so excited.
Yeah, no, from a story standpoint, it was ridiculous. It made no sense. It was completely stupid. Sure. But it was.
Well, and it had what's his name from Smallville was in it. I mean,
Tom Welling was in it.
It's worth it for the cameos. It's worth it for the cameos.
Yeah,
the cameos. Smallville.
So
speaking of teenage Todd, I love.
I think the new show looks really good, and I don't like that Superman or Lois. I did not like them at all in the crossover stuff, but the trailer looks really good. Cool. It's like Superman as a dad and stuff, so it's like stuff we haven't seen before. I think at least not on the. Well, he has 2 sons in the trailer, so I don't know. I don't know enough about Superman to know, but it looked really good.
I wasn't happy when they decided to make a show about it because I felt like the CW shows, they were focusing on characters that we didn't really see a whole lot on screen, you know? Besides Flash, but they had Arrow, Batwoman, the Legends were a whole bunch of random characters. So the fact that they're going to do like Superman is kind of like, we've seen Superman all the time.
Legends of Tomorrow is when I stopped watching.
I like Legends because
like half of the first season.
It is so ridiculous, and it knows it's ridiculous, and it tries to be nothing other than ridiculous.
Somebody save me! Oh, so good.
Oh, they played that song when they went to the universe.
What shit was I talking about, Travis? I made a joke about you're not friends, but other than that, the only other thing that I said was because I was going to talk about Superman Returns again, and he gave me all the shit for that. I was trying to avoid it.
Well, because you said that's the best Superman movie. No?
I liked it.
Oh, that's right. That was just that you liked it.
You just said I liked it.
Maybe I might have said that.
I didn't say it's the best. That's Crazy Town. I'm not that mad. I like Superman Returns. Nothing to do with the script. I like the casting choices they made, and I like the cinematography. The script was not great. Brandon Routh they had a Christopher Reeves like perfect evolution for it, and then they gave him a drama. That was rough. So don't watch those shows. That's what I'm picking up. Not worth going back to catch up.
I watched them. Why not?
But is it worth is it worth getting back in?
No, I watched them because I started watching them.
Yeah. And I hit the eject button for whatever reason.
I mean, what else do you have going on, really?
Yeah. What else?
You could do a lot worse.
I'm 130 episodes into Crit Roll. I'm very committed. That's what I've done with my pandemic time.
I have about 2 episodes left of Harley Quinn on the.
Of the second season?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
really
so good. I don't know how they make a better third season.
I started watching that, so I watched the first episode, and then my son came in, and he's like, "Oh, it's a cartoon." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it. What else? You can watch it.
Get out."
yeah, sure. Why not watch it? And then halfway through the episode, he turns and he goes, "Dad, what's a finger blast?" I was like, "You need to leave. You got to get out."
Go ask your mother.
Go ask your mother. We missed him too. He's doing IT stuff overnight. He's dealing with a server.
That sounds
he's getting served. He's getting served.
He's serving that server.
Or he's serving.
So you have a Kickstarter, just to put it, there is a Kickstarter in our description for Frank Martin's Polar Paradox, which is an excellent story. It's sci-fi based that has to do in our world, but sci-fi, near future. It's good stuff.
Yeah, when people think sci-fi, they think like space or cloning or alien or artificial intelligence.
Super future, yeah.
It's your story about, well, they're deep sea divers. They're going underwater and they meet some fish and
and there's some like science stuff, but it's fiction.
And I saw you did confirm, I believe a few days ago, that those are the eels from Little Mermaid, correct?
Yeah, I contacted Disney, and they gave me rights. So
that's nice. You got the blessing.
I wanted Ursula too, but they wouldn't give it to me.
The line was drawn like
yeah.
Oh my god, if there was Ursula like just in the back of like the big spread, you can see like there's an Ursula creature going by.
Yeah, so spoilers, there's a squid that attacks them. I wanted that to be Ursula, but they were they weren't having it.
Travis Gibb says back off Frank Martin books. I agree. You should do that.
Yeah.
They're worth it. What did they get with that Kickstarter?
Who?
What did they get with that Kickstarter?
What did I was
What did they get when they get in on that Kickstarter?
What do they get?
What are the
what do they get? What are they getting? What are the things they can
look for? What are the things? I have a digital copy of the book, so if you're cheapskate but you want to read it, you can pay for that. I have a standard print print version, which Antonio did the cover for, and it's a connecting cover with part 2, which you can see on the page.
That looks cool. Nice.
It's fancy. He did a phenomenal job. And then I have a variant, and then I have a buddy of mine I commissioned to write a theme song for the book, which is also always fun.
Cool.
I have a print set, a couple prints people can grab, and then a bundle. You can grab all that junk. And then, as you know, you can commission me to write a story. Apparently, I'm going to be writing an essay on the inferiority of this show. So
amazing. No, it's just that that Poser's better than the Burrito. He never specifically said his show. So I really like the idea that you could play with some loopholes.
Yeah, despite his show being awful, he is great.
He is better than the Burrito, but his show is much worse than the Burrito.
Yes.
I'm going to do more specifics, but I could worry about that later.
Oh, I'm sure you already have them sent to you.
They're in my inbox. I got to check.
Yeah.
With photo references and everything.
Yes. Yeah, he already had this planned out for some reason.
I wrote this 6 months ago. I just need a place to send it.
Yeah, he's been waiting this whole time. That's cool. Oh yeah, and you can get a black and white print commission too. That's cool.
Yeah, so and that's
a story and art commission combo. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Bearded. I'll pay you $25 for a much shorter essay.
Well, you know what? I did a campaign a while back where, you know what a drabble is?
A drabble
is a short story of exactly 100 words.
Oh, okay.
So I did this fun campaign where I had people commission me to write 100 of those 100-word short stories.
Oh, cool. That's neat.
I'm like a master of writing 100-word short stories, I feel, at this point.
That's your thing? You got your 10,000 hours in for like just 100 words? That's cool. That's fun. Oh, that'd be fun. Like that makes it. It's like a little sketch, like doing the quick sketches kind of thing. I love that you're like, suck it, artists. I'm coming.
It's fun until you have to do it for like a month straight.
Well, that's fair.
What other comics have you done?
So my previous book I launched in October, and that was called The Macabre Motel, which was like a Twilight Zone weird horror about a guy that stays at a motel that's filled with a bunch of weird guests that he can't really get away from.
Yeah, I saw you'd done a couple horror books, right?
Oh, where can that be found? Because you you just spoke right here. Like that is like where I live.
Yeah.
You described a comic book that I would pull for too long.
People got frustrated with me for that book because they it was really a Twilight Zone kind of inspired thing, so it was always meant to be a one shot.
Sure. Yeah.
Left on. I was a big "Are You Afraid of the Dark" guy, which always ends on like this weird cliffhanger.
Yeah, you have to fill in the blank. Your mind goes.
You can't end the book like that. What happens next? And I'm like, oh, the one done. What's the next one? A sequel, spin-off? Come on, something. So
you just write another one with the same title, number 2, but it's a completely different book.
Yeah. It's not about a motel. It's about a timeshare in Aspen. And
where can this be found?
The Macabre Motel is actually an add-on to the Polar Paradox. Kickstarter's got this new add-on feature where if you pledge, it takes you to a menu, which other stuff. So I put that on.
How much is that add-on?
And it's $5. Is the Polar?
It's a digital one. So if I got the digital reward thing, because that's kind of my thing.
So all the add-ons are physical tiers. So you got to get a physical tier to get it. Yeah, sneaky like that. You can't get the digital thing. snap my print book without any shipping on it. Kickstarter's wise to your scheme.
The
add-on is
the Hotel is not here on the Polar Paradox.
That's fair. If that's a physical one,
if you're getting a physical book, I just basically
you're already sending it, so it hops in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if it was a digital, I'd be like, I'll give you another $5. All right, $10. So you get that's pretty cool though. So $10, $15 for both comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Click.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have a couple horror books, don't you?
I have a I don't have everything that I've made. I don't have my entire back catalog on there, but I try to keep it like theme. So for the Macabre Motel, I put all my horror books on there. For this, I put a whole bunch of sci-fi stuff that I have on there. I put a couple months ago, I was in a Top Cow anthology, and they gave me a whole bunch of copies, so I have that on there.
Cool, sweet.
So,
nice. Oh yeah, look at all this. Ooh,
fancy stuff, right?
There's a lot of add-ons. There's a lot you can. Oh man, look at that. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of those novels.
A kaiju horror novel.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's the Lake Monster one.
Oh shit, man.
That's my wife.
I like to read too. Like
my wife doesn't like to read, so when she reads one of my books, that's like I must be good because she doesn't really get past the first 10 pages. And then
probably good. I can see where you're going.
Yeah, I had to take a picture of her and I posted it online. I said she actually read something I wrote. She's not one of these people that are very that like read something and then they're just like, it was great, honey. I'm very supportive of you. Be like, it was too many characters.
That's nice. That's important. Like, it's helpful because people don't do that in life. My wife is very critical of most things that I do, but in a very loving way. She wants to help.
That was a very diplomatic pause. My wife.
I just making sure because she doesn't watch this except every once in a while, and I'm like, I don't want her to come across as mean because I'm usually like,
got a dislike, Todd. So I don't know.
Right. And I'm usually just like, what do you think? And she'll give me an honest opinion, which is helpful because she could just be like, oh, it's great. Okay. I learned nothing from that interaction. Thanks. Cool. All right. Predestiny, A Weapon's Journey, Top Cow Stairway Anthology.
There you go.
Oscawana.
Yep. My wife has never seen this show. So
she is.
I wish that made me feel better, but it doesn't.
There's a few I haven't even seen, so
she does like to dunk on me during D&D, that's what I'm getting at. She doesn't care that I'm her husband. She tells me that repeatedly. I will do my best. And I'm not a cheapskate. I just like my digital comics because there's just so many comics and they all fit in one little place. Mm-hmm. I'm doing the planet a favor because I already bought this thing that stripped mine minerals from the earth. I might as well save paper too.
If you don't want a copy, but you bought it anyway, I'll email it to you. It doesn't cost me. That's why
I'll just add another $5 to my pledge if you could do that.
Oh, well, thank you.
There you go. Working it out. Well, before we forget, there is one
saga. I'm just gonna figure out my Kickstarter deal.
What?
This is like you and Saga with Poser earlier. I'm gonna figure out my Kickstarter deal real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we don't have anything going on. It's fine. No, there actually is one really important question that Cole usually asks.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget. But we always have our guests describe their perfect burrito. So if you're on one of those TV shows where it has the massive kitchen and you have to make a burrito
or have every ingredient possible.
Yeah, all the things.
I'm not that creative. I'm just thinking of burritos that I've had in the past that I really like.
Well, that's fine too. Like if you were you could go and we've had that.
I'm gonna close my eyes and pretend that I'm like at Chipotle.
Yes, just go through the line.
I want flour tortilla with Mexican rice, and then the crazy regular chicken, and then we get some cheese and some guacamole, some lettuce, some tomatoes, and then I like that what is it? It's like Chipotle barbecue sauce. You know, that's the thing that I like. A little drizzle some of that sucker on it, and I think we're good to go. Beans, beans on a burrito.
Black or pinto?
Mixed.
Ooh, a little bit of both. All right.
I like just keep adding stuff until that tortilla kind of starts splitting. Like they give you that look like
I can't do that. If it falls apart on me, I feel like the whole operation has been a failure. I can't.
Yeah.
You just walk away from your burrito.
This. Put the table. Door out.
Then you come right back around. I'm sorry. And clean up. That's what I would do in an outrage. I'd be like, oh, that was not cool. I got to go clean up my burrito. And now I need to eat. So I'm just going to get another burrito.
There was a burrito place by where I went to college that was phenomenal. And then I moved away and I felt like there was a hole.
Oh, yeah.
Like a burrito-sized hole.
Burrito-shaped hole, yeah.
And then we had up the road, we had a burrito place. It was like one of those Americanized burrito places, you know?
Yeah.
And they went out of business or they moved. I don't know what happened, but it's not the same, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. That's how I feel about tacos. Once I've got a really good taco place next to me, but it took forever. And is this a Michigan only show? One Love from Chicago. What up? I mean,
hey Jeff.
Where are you from, Frank?
I'm from New York.
Okay. So right now, usually the three Cole's also, we're all from the same city. Because we started as a physical thing, and then this virus decided that we should do this virtually. So we're all from Michigan. So right now we've got 2 Michigan and a New York. So there you go. And some Chicago. That's not as... Oh, and we got a random Justin Birch run in. What up, Justin Birch? How the 2 brothers doing?
I had a Chicago-style hot dog the other day. That was quite good.
Sounds fancy. We have tacos in our house like 3 times a week. My kids will live on tacos.
Do you make them or do you grab tacos?
My wife makes them. She grabs turkey.
All right. Yeah.
So, but there was now you're reminding me. Now there's a taco place that just went out of business. That was my favorite taco place. This has become like taking a really depressing turn for me.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you realize this.
If it makes you feel better, I'm about to have a new taco place open up.
Oh man, right next to me. Oh, I'm so excited because that's near me and it's my favorite taco place.
Yeah, it's next door to my work, and I'm very concerned.
Yo, Nick's gonna gain 15 pounds after that opens up. It's gonna be great.
I'm maybe like dieting and like running extra now to
prepare.
Yeah. I have until April to get in really good shape because then it's all over.
Go downhill.
It's like when you're going out drinking later, you're like, I got to get the water in now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here.
We're here. Right there.
You're here. I've been to Chicago a lot, Jeff. I'm also familiar with Chicago. There's a street named after our state there. That's prominent. Man, now I really fucking some tacos or burrito or something. That conversation usually makes me hungry, but now I'm like,
I mean, I could go on. My wife also does this thing where she has like a crock pot, it's like a pressure cooker, and she
pressure cooker
with salsa, and after like an hour, it's like butter. You just spread it apart, so it's like shredded salsa chicken. We make tacos.
We do an enchilada rice where we make because the wife is vegetarian, so I make veggie chorizo for her, and then I have real chorizo for me, and then add beans, rice, enchilada sauce, all of that. Cook that all together, and then just pour on the cheese on top of that, and then scoopy. And that's one of like my favorite, just quick family dinners because it's so fucking delicious. I just add hot sauce to it. It's my favorite.
Nice. We do like a chicken buffalo dip, which is a little bit different, but it's mostly cream cheese and buffalo sauce. Jeez, man.
I thought this is what we do to show where we're from in Michigan.
Yeah, you have to.
That's literally what we do. And then I was just joking because Chicago's the one that's well known. I was just being silly because Chicago's the well known area. We have Detroit, I guess. People don't go to Detroit anymore. I've never went going to Chicago because that's how I get to other places, is to at least go to Chicago first.
The hub.
Yeah, it's how I get to other places. We're that like one place in the West Michigan that not Trump crazy. We're surrounded by lots of red. Oh, they're still here, but they're literally everywhere. But it's the one place in West Michigan where it's a little bit less crazy.
We're on the outskirts, though, which gets a little dicey.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I got a few neighbors that it's like kind of keeping an eye on them a little bit, just in case.
I've never checked off the Michigan visit yet, so.
Well, you should come.
Traverse City. I love Grand Rapids. That's where we're from, and it's amazing. But if I was gonna like choose, like if you're just gonna hit Michigan as like a bucket list, pick the fall and pick like Traverse City.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's like Vermont in the fall, basically. So you probably already experienced it.
Or you could go to the UP, but you could also just go to Canada and.
Oh yeah, dude! Mackinac Island fudge. That's also worth going to Mackinac Island for the fun.
Unless if you're a really big beer fan, then you can come here.
Oh, then Grand Rapids is the place to be.
And you could do like a signing while you're here. We have lots of shops.
We have lots of shops.
We have like 3 that I like. We have enough LCSs that like I can have some that I don't like.
Yeah. We can have negative and positive lists. It's pretty great.
Where it's like, oh, I had to go to this one.
And
there's other people get mad at me on Twitter sometimes because they're like, you're complaining that you had to go to the other shop.
The other shop?
Yeah, the other, like the one you didn't like. The 3 shops you liked in town didn't have the book you wanted, so you had to go to the one where the guy's kind of a jerk.
I feel like if you have a pull list though, you can't go anywhere else. Like they got my books. I can't.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
My shop, the one that I have my pull list to, is also the one that I think it has the most diverse collection.
Yeah. I don't like their location, but.
No, me neither, but that's why they ship them to me if I.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time I have to go to the other shop is when I forgot to like ask for something. So, and then they're out, and then it's like looking around at a couple others to try to find it.
Yeah,
but usually it's always the same place.
Did I miss you asking for a signed book?
Did I? I mean, I'll take one, but I didn't think so. I don't think I did.
I don't think so either.
I didn't intend to. If I did, I usually do that after the stream and private messages.
And be like, "We have money, please help."
Put it on the low key.
Yeah, I usually do that later. No. That way, if the answer's no, I'm not hung out to dry in front of other people. I'm way too introverted to do that on the show, Bearded.
Well, we've got our big question out of the way. We're gonna still keep rolling because, as is Burrito Life, you are more than welcome to keep talking. Like literally anything. But we also, at the hour-ish mark, we like to give our guest an out because we're on Eastern time too. It's 11:11. So if you need to go anywhere, we can do a final plug and let you go, or you can keep rolling and we can keep talking. But it's on you.
I will go until I randomly feel the need to leave.
Cool, perfect. And then just tell us that.
I'm gonna do the same.
I just
All right, Frank. Well, the show is yours. We'll see you guys later.
He said to come to a signing, hence the casual.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, but then I'd be buying the book. I'd be buying the book then, right?
Nick's not smart enough to be that super secret about trying to get a signed book.
No, I'd be like, can I have one? And they're like, no. And it's like, all right, well, then I'll buy it. Then how much?
Well, speaking of hour mark in, Nick will be proud of me that I haven't had to go take a pee break yet.
You're going.
I need to go take a pee break. So
all right. Well, we'll sit here awkwardly while we wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Please don't talk or do anything while I go.
Cole and I do that sometimes.
Read a book.
And if anybody, wait, Todd. Oh, it's too late. All right. I wasn't going to stay up too super late tonight. Just trying to catch up on some sleep this week. So I was going to open it up if anybody else in the chat wanted to jump on with us too. I can put that on there. Did I do this right? There we go. I think that's the right link. So yeah, we're going to be reading Black Hammer soon too. Have you read that at all?
No.
Now's a good time.
Yeah. I'm kind of cheap. So I don't like getting the book. My big thing was, and I can't really do this now because it's closed, I discovered that I can take books out of the library, which is like a gold mine for me because they just give you books to read and then you bring them back and then they just give you more books. It's phenomenal.
It's crazy. And at least ours, I did the same thing. I went and got my library card just to get comics and stuff because I don't read a whole lot of prose or real books, as Todd calls them. But I got it, and they were like, "Oh, and by the way, there's a limit of 100 books at a time." And I was just like, "Seriously? Like I can pull out 100 books?" Like, and I just finished Invincible. Well, I finished it like a month ago, but I just returned my books to the library the other day. And ours just opened back up so that I can go in because for the longest time they had curbside, which was nice if you know what you want.
Yeah.
But I used to spend a lot of time just going through the shelves and finding crazy stuff. I'm
in the same boat. I loved going in and just being like, what do I want today? You know, but curbside, I can't do that, and I don't really know what I want. But my son and I have been steadily taking out the Avatar and Legend of Korra comics.
Okay.
Fun. I don't know if you watch the shows, but
I intend. It's one of those.
It's
on the list.
On
the
to-do list.
On the queue or whatever. Yeah.
They're phenomenal, and the comics are phenomenal too. So I was happy to continue the story. But they quarantine the books. I don't know if your library does that. So it's like So it's like I want this. I might as well get it in 4 months.
Ours is. I mean, it's a few days, or we have so many of them that sometimes they have to like pull them from other libraries and stuff. Do you ever use the Hoopla app for? No. Do they give you the digital?
No.
I do a lot of that. Ours gives us 10 digital rentals per month. And you can do books, comics, music, and movies. So if you have like a tablet or anything,
you have to pay. It's like subscription.
It's totally free with your library card.
Ooh, cool.
Hoopla. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check it out. But I liked it because I get to, let's say if there's a run like for a new creative team, you get to read the first volume, and if you're like, okay, that was nice, you can put it back. But if you really dig it and you want to continue it, you can take out volume 2 and then 3. I did that for Jeff Johns' Aquaman run because it was.
Oh, I read the first 2 or 3 trade for New 52.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the first 2. That's like the trench, I think, right?
Yeah, it starts with the trench.
Yeah.
And it leads up to the crossover it did with Justice League when Ocean Master, which was essentially the Aquaman movie, but
yeah,
I thought it was much better in the comics. It was.
I read the first few trades of that. I still have to read his Flash. I have a couple of those on my shelf, along with a lot of other things I need to read. But
I haven't read his Flash, but I know, you know what? And for the longest time, they had like a Marvel and DC section. So I was just like, I wish they had some independent books like Image and stuff, Dark Horse. And I'm like, I can't find it. I don't know. And then one day I turned the corner and I was like, oh, there it is. And then the very next week they closed the library from COVID. So it was like,
oh, that was the only. Our library has 2 sections of comics, and that was the only thing that was slightly defeating for me. Once was it was towards the end of Tom King's Batman run. I wanted to catch up because I was going to start pulling Batman at Tynan's run. So I needed to get a few issues in between, and I saw online that they had the single issues for Tom King's Batman run. So I went to the library and I'm looking and I'm like, there's issues of Saga, there's all these other books. There's because they had all single issues of Saga and a couple others, Walking Dead. And I can't find Batman anywhere. And so finally I went up to the main desk and I'm like, hey, online it says you guys have Batman comics, but I don't see any. And the guy just kind of looked at me and kind of was It's like, it's over there in the teen section. And I look over and there's this big neon sign that says like teens only or something with like an arrow. And I go in there and there's all these fucking kids like playing Fortnite on the computers and stuff. I walk in there and I'm like, I felt so out of place just being in like this teen area. I'm like, I'm going to end up on a list or something. Like just trying to get these comics. Everybody. Oh,
like, don't talk to the kids. Don't talk to the kids. Just don't. Batman comics to leave.
Yeah, just grab your books and go. Like, but I thought that was cool that they even had single issue books like that. There, that was.
Did you read them yet? The rest of Tom King's?
Oh yeah. That was.
You really did. You could have just jumped right on.
Yeah, and it was fine, but
I think his run gets a lot more crap than it deserves. I for the most part I liked it. At the end, you could feel that it was rushed because it that's what it was. He wasn't given his full run that he was supposed to get. But I think it had its moments. I think War Jokes and Riddles was awesome. That kind of little stretch there in the middle was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Ballad of Kite Man was great. Yeah. The wedding was like my first comic book burn kind of thing where like I got all caught up in the hype and then it was just like I bought like all the little one-shot tie-in things for it, and I still have the I might even have it right here. I had like the nope, it's in my other case. The invitation to the wedding. It's a little checklist and stuff, and I was so excited. And I got issue 50, and it was just like
it was a little bit of a letdown. The lead up to that had like the epitome of the Tom King Batman run, which was the 2 issues where they go on Batman and Superman goes on a date with Catwoman and Lois Lane.
Oh yeah,
the double date issue. Yeah.
I mean, it was like nothing really extravagant happened, but it was just Tom King doing what Tom King does. Just character dynamics. And
hi, puppy dog. Who let you out?
Like the was it the bachelorette party?
That one was weird.
Fortress of Solitude.
That one still makes me uncomfortable. Like,
That was great. I was like, this is weird. I love it.
there's like all these robots of
all the serving.
Clark, and like
Serving
Lois is like way too into it that that Catwoman is like with her husband robot and stuff. It was a whole lot of weird. I don't know. That book made me uncomfortable.
I just watched the Bachelorette episode of Harley Quinn. That was a kind of a funny one too.
Yeah.
I actually said goodnight to my daughter. I did not poop. I'll let you know when I poop. But I said goodnight to my daughter and sang her songs. Also, she's up way too late.
Yeah,
my kids are probably up. Hopefully. My son has this ability. My 3-year-old has this ability to hold his shit in all day long, and then at bedtime he gets in bed. Then he says, "I gotta go poopy" on clockwork, and then he just releases it all. 20-minute long dumping session.
Go, dog.
It's quite impressive that he's able to do that.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, on command. That's a skill that if he can hold on to,
so
he's gonna go far.
He's got it down. He's like, my wife and I, we cut him off. We do all the things he usually asks to stall. Like, we filled up your water. The night light's on. We asked you 5 minutes ago if you had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
like we did.
Man, Bearded remembers more. I forgot about this, and there was that one time when my wife and I both. She just was in her room.
Not like last week.
Was it?
I thought it was last week. Maybe it was recently.
A long time ago to my brain. But yeah, no, we just forgot to put her to sleep. She's just watching Teen Titans Go because she's a cool kid.
Nice.
I did a podcast the other day. It was a video show, and my wife was on the exercise bike, and I'm like, watch the kids. And I had my 3-year-old come down. I just pooped. I need you to wipe me. And he's like, what's going on here? And he's diving in front of the camera with his pants on his ankles. So the entire show was just them.
We have that with Poser when Poser's on the show. Sometimes we have that problem. Same exact thing.
It's Poser without the pants.
Yes. That was definitely fun.
Children, yeah. They're the best and stuff.
They're
the best all the time.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago, Todd, that you didn't put your daughter to bed.
Oh. Wow. Impressive. Oh.
I did put the link in the thing when you left.
Oh, you put our in. Hilarious. Right. So, 1 second. No, you guys just keep talking. I have to.
Do we want to give Frank another out chance before?
Sure.
I have to load. No.
I'll take it out. I'll bow out.
Well, you can hold on for just a second.
1 second. I'm gonna load
and then decide.
Yeah, then you can decide. It'd be much funnier if you decide right after.
The really funny thing, Bearded, is that we were talking Tom King, Batman, and Cole wasn't here.
Yes,
that was the best.
What's even funnier is
I pooped. Will you come wipe me?
See, there it is.
Spot on. You got it.
I heard you say that I had this loaded for when I was done packing some boxes from an auction yesterday. And I was like, this is the perfect time to hop in and say hello.
It is. 11:25 p.m. is always the perfect time.
That is
the magic hour. How's it going?
Fine.
Yeah.
Sitting here packing boxes. I'm enjoying your conversation. Frank, I'm looking forward to collaborating on the reason why I am superior to the burrito, that we can come up with many scenarios as to how I could best them in battle, in a wrestling ring, a hot oil wrestling match, any of those things.
Well,
hot oil wrestling match?
Some bullet points is all I need, and I'm good to go.
Done. I'll sleep on it. I'll drink 2 more hands tonight.
I'm better. They suck.
I just have to figure out how to take down Todd's robot overlords, and then golden.
I have a burrito bot that runs for me in our Discord, who he actually controls everything. I am the curtain, and it is the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Pay no attention. Pay no attention.
Todd's in front of you. It's all burrito bot.
No, that's literally all I wanted to say. I don't have anything productive. I'm tired from reading way too many books today. You have a 3-year-old that is randomly pooping at bedtime. I have a 2-year-old who we're potty training, and I'm discovering where he likes to hide and poop.
Oh no.
And that's different than my 5 and 4-year-old. They would poop in their closet. My youngest marks his territory all over the house. He is the alpha based on where he's willing to poop and pee, because my wife just lets him be a feral child 90% of the time. So I feel you, but I don't have anything else to say. I just heard you make the joke about naked kid running in, which I've had to deal with on 2 live streams during the day, with Dingle Dangle hanging out and Daddy, will you wipe me? No, you're 5. Wipe your own ass.
I know. You just hear about pediatric defecation. You're like, I'm in.
Yeah. The views just start ticking up like, what? Kid poop?
Calling horn.
All right. That's all I got. I'm going to go lurk in the chat. But
okay. Bye,
yeah, it's short. And if you want something else to talk about when I'm not taping up boxes of shit to send people, then I'll get drunk and fall asleep, because that's what I do.
You got those saga books handy?
Have you got him in?
No,
he's these are
the extras.
Yeah, that there's only number 9 is
that top one's one of my favorite covers of the whole series.
Well, and that's the second printing.
Yeah.
That one is just abused along the spine.
Yeah.
But everything else is clean. And if they're the other books that you don't have, from 4 to 9, I've got somebody who has a honey hole who on Thursday, so I was on somebody's stream talking Ice Cream Man #1.
Oh.
This motherfucker on Wednesday found Ice Cream Man #1, the first printing, for cover price.
What?
Yeah. Nick, what do you think about that? What do you think for your Ice Cream Man #1 first printing?
What's that?
What'd you pay for your Ice Cream Man #1?
It's a second printing. I paid 20. I paid 20 for a second printing. Oh no! I paid more than that.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you paid more from that.
I think I paid 30, 35 maybe.
Yeah. 35, that's what I think.
Paid 30 or 35. I think they had it listed at 40, and I was buying some other stuff, and I was like, do anything? Because it was Todd's shop.
He bought a book for me. The guy who's
passed. I passed on a first print for 80 at my shop.
The guy who was hunting, he was out hunting today. He bought a book for me last night for $40, some random Silver Age DC book. And he went to the shop. This place had random 20 packs of Saga for $5 a piece. And I was like, you can just buy all of those and I'll pay you $10 a piece. And I'm sure between auctions and eBay or sitting on it, based on Brian K. Vaughn's Instagram post today, where it's like, oh, we're working on these and this shit's going to blow your mind. Like, even if issue number 55 is like an abortion, mush between comic book pages, that's still going to shoot up the value of the lower ones. And it's like, okay, I'll let go of one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. After making an abortion reference, I figure I'll go back to the chat, but just let me know if I need anything else. But Frank, I'm excited to check your book out.
Thank you.
I'm ready to.
I think
to create
you got a
homoerotic me
Yeah,
versus
and
the burrito fan fiction. Okay.
Hi, Poser.
Poser.
That was Poser.
That was an experience.
Oh, it always is.
He's a great guy. He's
He
a
is
great
a great guy. He just there's a thing in his brain that there's a filter for most people. His is actually a dirtier. It goes through it, and instead of filtering, it actually gets worse as it comes out.
It's like that thing on your hose that you twist to make it spray harder.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
I consider myself a comic reader, not a collector. So when you start talking about
That's me too.
just price,
That's why
sitting on stuff, it goes over
Well,
my
see, I am too, but I want I still want it. Like I'm not buying it to like flip it. Like it's never for sale again. That's why the high prices always kill me. Like for the Ice Cream Man and stuff, it's like I just want number one, like the first print. Like I just want it.
That's what makes me so happy because I have a Saga 1 first print, but it's literally because my comic book owner at the time, the last shop owner, I was just in there and I was just like, hey, what's good? And he was like, oh, you should pick this up. So I did. And then I put it on my pull list and I kept going. I didn't know what I was going to get. And I'm never going to sell it. But like, I love that I have it because people care too much. And
I like it because other people do.
No,
it makes me happy because I could give two shits if it's a first or a fifth printing. Like, if it's a fifth printing, that's fine. It's in my collection. I can read it. That's all I care about.
I want you to think about that. I just picked up a second printing of The Last Ronin #1.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a nice cover.
So
Good cover.
I was just like, I mean, I really don't care. My comic guy knows.
Yeah.
Like he throws variants in there. He knows like I really don't give a shit. Like fourth printings, I just like I like reading the physical book.
Yeah, that's
You're the guy that like my comic shop will be like, oh, I'll be like, oh, I want that book. I forgot to pull it, and they're like, oh, well, this guy, he'll take the variant. You can have the A. You're the guy that gets the variant because I took your A cover.
I get the Lego Spider-Man variant. So
that's, I mean, I kind of want that one.
I got a Ronin first printing literally because the three of us got a good deal from, I think, Peter Comics.
Yeah.
Because
the ones that Cole and I got were slightly damaged. They have just the littlest bit of a box cut on the spine. It's really not too bad, but it was enough, and the book blew up that it was like, well, if I can get another one at cover, I'll take it.
I was literally gonna buy your cut one because I'm the same way, Frank. Where I'm like,
yeah,
a book, but then we found a deal where we could get them all, and I was like paying cover essentially for a good one, and I'm like, if I'm gonna choose, I'll pick a good one.
Yeah,
but if that's the only way for me to get it, I don't care. Give me the sliced up one. You enjoy your fresh one. It's never going anywhere. It'll be me reading it, and that's it.
I liked the second print cover enough that I was going to offer my shop to take the slightly damaged one back in trade for the second print cover because they had somebody else looking for it, and it was like, oh, I could kind of help them out and get, because I don't need two of the same one really, but.
The only book that I like having multiples of, I have multiple Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I have a signed Bendis copy. I have an unsigned one. I have a German copy. I think I have the Bendis one is CGC and the German's one is CGC too. But that's like, I really like that book, so that's kind of the one that.
Oh. I almost want to just take him up on it because I think that would piss Cole off to
no yeah, end. You can't do that.
If I just trade it off, because it's also one of those things.
Probably less fifth prints, right?
Because if my life turns upside down, it's something that's worth something, and I actually have like the means to flip if I need the money. Like if I ever get in a spot where I'm like, I need to make quick cash, Saga number 1's a quick way to do it. And I have
My
it.
Saga number 1's going to be like the image firsts. It's going to be like a damaged image firsts copy that I get for $1.
I have 2 really expensive books. I have Amazing Fantasy 15. My father got it for me like 18.
Hello.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have Amazing Spider-Man.
You can show us, right?
Locked away.
And underneath the couch.
But you know, besides that, that's like it's. I think it's like a 4 point something.
No, but
I
still
have a restore that's a lot graded a lot higher. That's Amazing Spider-Man 129 too.
Ooh, nice.
That one I like better.
That's cool. I have a Ultimate Spider-Man one that I love because that's one of my first books that I started pulling. Like I would get comics as like a kid and all of that, but then I got a paper route, and in one of my first pull lists, Ultimate Spider-Man was in that. So that's one of my like special comics too, because I love that. And I didn't even think about getting like a German copy of it and stuff like that. That's cool. I love that. That's awesome.
What other CGC books do I have? I have Why the Last Man, CGC graded too. I have the whole series. So
cool. You have the whole series graded?
Yeah, it's like a 9.8.
Nice. That's a lot.
That's a big collection, isn't it? For each slab is
no, just the first issue is graded. But I have the whole.
You have the whole series, but the first one's graded.
I was gonna say, I'm like, really?
The whole series was graded. I'm like, whoa.
But also,
I like the idea that they were all graded together too, in just one super thick slab.
Take up the wall.
Yeah,
it's like a transparent short box. That's
actually a structural part of his housing where it's vertical. So it holds up a part of the ceiling, the whole Why the Last Man slab.
Load-bearing slab.
Load-bearing slab.
A bunch of years ago, too, at my local comic shop, a guy was selling his own collection of Ex Machina, and he was selling his whole series for $2 an issue. So I don't know if you know, they're 50 issues. So for $100, I got the entire
deal.
And I hadn't read it because I didn't care about owning the books. I just was like, I get a whole series of this thing. So, and I just one after another, I read the whole thing. It was phenomenal.
I do that all the time. Our shop will do like a sale where they're like $3 boxes are half off, and I'll just ask them like, "Is there anything in there that you have the full run?"
Yeah,
it's like, oh, the last one I got was God Hates Astronauts. I still haven't read it yet, but I think it was 14 issues or something for the whole thing, and it was like, oh, I'll take it. It's the whole set, sure.
There's very few things that I have like the whole series of that I keep aside because I love it so much. I did that for Ex Machina, Why the Last Man, and Garth Ennis's Punisher Max because that was phenomenal.
How do you prefer to read? Do you like single issues or trades or digital or?
I like single issues, but as we were talking about with the library, that's kind of I love going to the library and just getting trades. You know, it's so cost effective and.
You Hoopla or anything?
No, we were talking about Hoopla. I think I'm gonna Hoopla the Hoopla. So I'll check
it out. It's different for every library. So it's like your library controls how many things you can rent. Like ours was 5, and then just before COVID hit, they upped it to 10. And I know some people that don't get like book rentals from it, and so you'll have to see what your local library does, I guess. But
my trade reading has gone significantly down since I can't go into the library. The only book I really read was I read the first 2 volumes of Sex Criminals, which was
I have both the hardcovers waiting.
Oh man.
I've read the first volume, so I've read half of book 1 because I had to have the hardcovers with the little you take the slip cover off and it is even more awkward than the cover itself.
Okay.
I read it based on a recommendation because I was talking with a fellow comic creator and I was telling him an idea that I was developing. And he said, that sounds very close to sex criminals. So I was like, okay, let's give it a shot.
Speaking of sex criminals, oh man, I can't even.
That's a bad transition.
I'm not going to transition from that. Speaking of really dope things.
Hi, Steve.
Hey guys, what's up?
My first segment was going to be funnier, but it's so much meaner.
Hey, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna just exit out of the chat here a minute. Like, oh, I want it, man.
Here comes our West Coast delegate. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm okay. I saw that you guys had the opportunity to jump on, so I figured, what the heck?
Yeah, come say hi.
Yeah.
How you been?
Nice to meet you, Frank. Good to see Nick and Todd and everybody in the chat.
Nice to meet you too.
How you been, Steve?
I can't complain. I'm all right. I was over at my friend's house. We were playing Trivial Pursuit Horror Edition.
Horror edition?
Like horror movie?
Yeah.
You're probably pretty good at that because I see your Facebook posts and all your movie watching that you do.
Some of the questions are real hard. Some of them are like TV shows and like classic horror movies. I found it for my friend for Christmas, and she loved it. And hey, Sam. And we ended up playing it tonight, and we were doing like the long version. So we ended up breaking down. And if you got like on
he's
like a certain color, you'd get the wedge. But long story short, I ended up winning tonight, so I was happy. Everyone was upset, but
everyone was upset.
How seamless was this? I was happy. Everybody was sad. It was great.
Yep. So you played.
There's some questions that were real hard, like Hitchcock movies from like the 30s and 40s. That like they'd ask a question, and my eyes would just glaze over because I'm like, pass. I have no idea.
Yeah, that sounds like Trivial Pursuit.
But I was gonna say, Nick, I like your new setup. I like the aquarium. Something different.
You like? I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife doesn't like it because she's
This is
right
expected
down the hallway there.
every week now, Nick. This is how you have to stream.
I do like it. It is peaceful and nice.
What's the creepy looking thing in the corner on the side? It looks like
this is one of those things that you're supposed to put out in front of your house as Christmas decorations.
Yeah. I can't tell if we're like in an AI interface or a club or something.
But it's one that it's one of the ones that you spend like $45 on at Home Depot, and then you're all excited and you bring it home and you stick it there and then you turn it on and it's like you can't see it at all. It's just and then one day I brought it home and I was messing with it, or I brought it inside rather, and it just shot up on in the room, and it was like, oh, it's kind of nice inside. So.
It's like a techno nightclub over at Todd's.
Yeah, that's how I match his. Is like
I can it's got different colors and different things that it can do. But
seizure warning mode.
I was trying to one of these. I think this one kind of reminded me a little bit of towards the end of Polar Vortex a little bit, and that's kind of what I was going for, but I couldn't really get.
I tried to match the color. I went with white because of Polar Paradox. I went with just a nice, ice color.
And then I thought
yours is the complement of the later half of the book.
Maybe if I gave the fish tank a little bit different,
whoa,
like that, then it would be good. There, that's better.
I don't know. Hey, Steve, you're a horror person. You're a horrible person. It sounds like
horish. That's my 10-year-old calls it horish.
Have you watched Color Out of Space?
No, I haven't yet, and it's on my list. I was gonna pick it up, and I talked myself out of it. I'm gonna have to check it out so we can talk about it sometime in the next couple of weeks. But anything with Nick Cage, it's like the Nick Cage persona.
It's Lovecraft and it's Nick Cage, and I only have one friend that I know, and I went to see it with him at the Weird Art House in our city. I want more people to talk about it with because it's fantastic. It's amazing. And your scene, Nick, makes me think of it because in the book, in Lovecraft, it's a color that we can't experience. It's a new color that blows your mind. But because it's a movie, there's no way to show a color that doesn't exist because we'd already have seen it at this point.
Oh, this says I can stream it on Hoopla.
Perfect. And it's magenta. In the magenta is the color that they can't handle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And you look like you're literally in Color Out of Space right now. Like
I am.
You're matching. Come on, facial recognition. That's Nick Cage's face. There it is. My God.
Well, see, I'd need it more where it's on me, though.
There. Oh my God.
He just needs a pair of glasses and he'll be good to go.
He's Nick Cage. Holy shit.
I meant to say Renaissance. We're in a Nick Cage Renaissance between Mandy, Color Out of Space, this Willy's Wonderland. It's Mom and Dad. Have you guys ever seen Mom and Dad?
Oh my God, dude. It's so
I'm
good.
watching him in that new Netflix show, The History of Curse Words.
Ooh, I have not seen this.
Which is it's like
how is it?
It's funny. It's a documentary series about cursing. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, which is a fucking and shit. So they go in the entomology of the word, where it came from, and then why it's awesome.
It's on Netflix.
It's neat. Yeah, and Netflix and Nick Cage is like
he's the host. He's the host. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So they say, and they go into the science of it too. They say scientists have done studies that say you actually get stronger when you curse.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
When you curse, it makes you like withstand pain longer and stuff. It's wild.
That's how I'll explain it to my parents when they watch the show, and they're like, "Why do you curse so much?"
What is it called again?
I'm just getting stronger. I'm getting gains.
The history
of curse words.
Yeah.
History of swear words?
Maybe. I don't.
That's it.
You just Google it.
History of swear words. History of swear words. Yep. I got it on the queue. It's Netflix says it's a 94% match for me, so they know me. They know me pretty well.
I love the curse word episode of South Park. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
With the counter?
That's another good one. Yeah, with the counter. Every time they curse, the counter goes up. That's a great.
Let them say shit. So good. Oh man,
that's a great episode.
Oh.
On that note, I think I'm gonna leave.
I love it. That's such a good move.
What better way to go out than South Park?
On that shit. So everybody, make sure to check out. It's in the description. The Kickstarter for Frank's Polar Paradox. It is excellent. It's well written. The art is awesome. It's got a good hook at the end. You're gonna want more. It's great, and he's great at making sure if people want more, he gives more because he hates to let people just hang there. You would never do anything to make people upset about that. But no, seriously, check it out. It's awesome. It's already funded, so you know you're getting it. So just go get it, make it happen. Thank you, Frank, for being on.
Thank you, guys. It's been a fun hour and a half or more. Yes.
Yeah, a little more.
Have a good one, Steve. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Frank. I'll definitely check out the book.
Oh, thank you.
Bye. I like Frank. He seems like a good guy.
I like everybody that we give. Everybody that it's like, hey, if you want to take off, that's cool. And then they're like, oh, hang out for a little bit. It's always nice.
Oh my God. I gave him shit. And he
yeah. BCB in the house.
I was too excited. Because he'll I have to do something, or he'll be like, and I'll get upset. I need him to still like me. But oh shit, that uploaded so quick. It's Bearded Comic Bro.
Is Frank gone? Is it safe to come on now? Okay.
I love the idea that you're waiting. Like, when's Frank gonna leave? Oh, okay.
I was gonna hop on like half an hour ago when Frank said he was getting off the show, and then he just stayed on, and then it was awkward because I'm like, well, because I didn't want to hop on, and then he'd go like, oh, I gotta hop off, and then Poser would give me crap of like,
and then it's your
he
fault.
hopped off when I was on, but he did when you showed up, so I was just like, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna ride it out.
Smart. You gotta play those poser odds.
When I saw Poser jump on, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna wait him out and see what happens. No offense. I was gonna come on 2 minutes after he jumped on and be like, I'm gonna be the referee for this chat. Everyone gets 2 minutes to speak. Poser, you gotta sit and listen. Ding ding, you're in.
You're the moderator, yeah.
I love it. But no, Todd knows the reason actually why I wasn't on. So.
And it's dope as fuck.
I was playing Star Wars Pod Racer on.
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to you guys, so
It's so good. How was it?
it's so much fun. It hits me right back in the nostalgia feels.
That's dope. What version of it is it?
So-
what are you playing on?
I'm playing it on the Xbox, on my Xbox One. It was like an $8 purchase, and they haven't updated the graphics at all or
So it's
anything,
the
which is
same?
perfect. So it's the
Nice.
same, and it's no, you didn't. Like
What?
no.
What?
Yeah, sure you did. Just shout on the Game Boy, whatever.
He won the Horse's Ass Award tonight for coming on and embarrassing himself in front of the host.
Amazing. Thank you, Steve.
Wow.
The thing is that there's a time and place for everything, and I mean, it's okay to talk about random.
Is there
bull
ever
crap.
a time and place for Poser?
It's like
Steve's parenting.
oh man,
pleasure
it's
makes me
like
so happy.
for the best. It's like red alert, red alert, red alert. Anyways, I digress. I didn't mean to cut off BCB because I want to hear about this pod racing game. $8
No,
is
it's not that Steve's upset with Poser. It's just that he's disappointed with Poser.
Yeah.
He's not angry. He
I saw it
better.
Hey, listen,
That's what you'd think about his choices.
I watched
more.
his debate. I watched his debate, and he did F-bomb a lot, but he was very conciliatory to the person he was debating. And I was like, I saw Poser in a new light, and I'm like, this is the man that should be hopping on and talking about. And then he's talking about that whole saga thing, and I'm like, oh my God.
Amazing. That
No comment. Let's go back to Bearded Comic Bro
The
story.
fact that I was on this stream just to experience that.
it makes me so. I'm gonna clip that and do something with it.
Just send me that sound bit, please.
Yes, that's all we need.
Bearded's gonna make it his ringtone.
It's just gonna be the new intro to all my videos
shit.
each week.
They're gonna laugh so much. I need to pee because holy shit. I'll be back. Poser.
This is number 2.
I know that's which for hour 2. It's pretty good. It's usually 45 minutes, so I'm going an hour.
It's crazy. I'm drinking tea tonight, and I haven't.
I'm on my 4th one of these along with drinking. It's just how it goes.
Okay, you drink so much liquids.
Water.
Mm-hmm. Mixed with vodka.
Next.
It's the.
You guys want to talk
It's
about? You
not
guys want to
good.
talk about Riddler then? So. Oh, now he doesn't have to pee anymore. He's gonna.
Go,
You know.
I'll hold off the conversation. Go
We'll
pee.
wait. We'll wait. We'll talk about.
We'll
Pod, you could. Bearded will talk about pod racing and
Talk
stuff.
about something stupid like Kite Man.
Ooh.
So,
Them's
anyways, the
fighting words.
Riddler. So the Riddler.
Here's the deal. Kite Man is stupid, but he's fantastically done right. If he's done right, it's fun though.
He's by far my favorite thing of Tom King's entire run. Is that whole that whole redemption arc.
Because nothing about Kite Man should work. Like it's one of those like he was a character that they threw in when they're like trying to figure out like we just need Batman to fight someone.
Mhm.
And Tom King's run in the War of Jokes and Riddles that Frank was even was talking about before. I mean, he solidified him as an actually legit character.
Mhm.
And I love that his name's Charlie Brown. There's just so many little homages to that, and you actually like the panel where like he's getting dragged across. It's like a scene from Peanuts, which is really funny. But like, and then when they did with him with the animated series, they made him a part of the joke, which I think works really well. As you know, also. So, man, I have no. I think that'd be a fun series to do. Is to talk even more so about like the obscure characters and like where to find their runs. Because
he's maybe borderline not obscure anymore,
right?
Because of what Tom King did. I don't think he would have been in the Harley Quinn show if he hadn't been. I mean, he had the Hell Yeah and everything in there, so it was a huge for that character.
Yeah, but I mean, when I'm talking, I mean, though to us he might not be obscure, but I mean, most people probably can't sit here and say what Kite Man's second, appearance, what comic that is in, or like where to find that, and get some cheap stuff like that. So, yes, it is actually Poser.
I know Cole knows the first appearance because he has that book, and I know that I wanted it until I saw the price of it because it's also the first appearance of Batmite. So it's not a pricey book to get because of the first appearance of Kite Man, but because of Batmite.
Yeah, but Batmite
in the second story.
Yeah.
Which is maybe even is Batmite more obscure now? Maybe
I would say less people know about Batmite than
I don't know a whole lot about him other than he's
because Batmite was in that TV show when they did the Batman cartoon, in the 60s or 70s. He was a prominent figure in that cartoon.
Okay.
And wasn't good. It was when they were deciding to do those silly little characters in that era. Like the Flintstones had the alien
Gazoo.
You had Batman had Batmite. I'm trying to think. Superman had something similar that was kind of stupid like that.
Mr. Mxyzptlk.
See,
I'm here to help you out. I know all these.
They're the same. Batmite and him is the same. I'm not even going to try to say the name. It's the same like species, right? The same dimensional traveling.
I feel like it's something. I will say though, Mr. However you say it,
Mxyzptlk.
We just call him Mr. Mixie, just to shorten it. They call him MXY in the comics. Mixie.
He's a prominent character in one of my favorite graphic novels, Emperor Joker.
Oh, I haven't read that.
Oh, it's a great one.
That's probably on DCU, huh?
It's probably on DCU. So it's I love
Street Fighter. Todd's showing off his new shirt. Emperor Joker.
Oh, it was a Superman book, but it's called Emperor Joker. It basically is like the easiest way to compare it is like if Joker had the power of like an Infinity Gauntlet. Like that's kind of like the power that Joker has in this arc, and it's really freaking entertaining. Like he literally just like kills Batman every day just to mess with him.
There you go.
Brings him back to life and kills. Like it's a great run. So yeah, check it out on DC.
Superman is trapped in a nightmare world where Joker reigns supreme. 11 items. So there's 11 issues. I like some of these covers. Ooh, I like that cover a lot.
I took off my hoodie because fuck yeah, man.
Nice.
I'll save it. I'll put it in my reading list.
So
who's your guy? We have to talk a little Street Fighter.
So my guy is Vega.
Oh my god.
Or actually, he's my favorite, but actually my guy is what's his name? It's starts with a D.
Dawson?
Dawson. Because you can stand off to the side of the screen, you can lean and stretch the arm.
Yeah, do the chicum. Yeah.
And I'm all about cheating in those games.
Nice.
You can do it, do it. So it's not cheating, it's just people.
I'm surprised you're not saying Ihaka then, if you're into like the cheap playing.
Hey, here's the deal. It is what it is. So, but when a local shop did a series of the Street Fighter shirts like this, I had to get this one. So they did like 3 different ones that had different characters on it, and
that's cool.
It's pretty fantastic. So
Blanca is my boy. I love Blanca. And then Zangief. I love Zangief.
And then Zangief makes the appearance in Wreck-It Ralph. You had to be so geeked out.
I was so excited. It makes me mark out every time. And it's like so early. I'm just like, yeah, the movie's the best.
You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I'm in. I was in so quickly.
And so now that Nick's gone, we can talk about Riddler, right?
Yeah. Literally my favorite Batman villain. Hands down.
So good.
He was my pick too.
Yes.
That was what. Yeah, I posted that on Twitter. That was my response.
Yep.
Oh.
And
I was so concerned because I was like, he's gonna pick somebody else. Like Riddler's not even gonna show up on the list. And I was already angry. I was like, because Cole mentioned like he was like, I'm really upset with your picks or something. I remember him saying
because I didn't have Kite Man. It's our joke.
I get it.
Our joke is that I have Kite Man. Because I like Kite Man. We talked about it briefly, but I won't go into it. But Cole has that first appearance, so he likes to.
Yeah,
he has it.
Yep.
But
that's what I was prepared for. I was like, if Cole's upset, we're at number 2, and I'm like, oh no.
I'm surprised there was a lot of love for the Riddler. And the idea behind that came from. I want to say I feel like it was, I was on like one of these late night streams one time, was like with John from John's Comics with Kids. Chaos was on there, maybe Old Wolf. We were talking about Batman villains, and the idea came up of like, I said Riddler, and they're like, yeah, but what's your favorite like Riddler comic? And I'm like, there's a bunch out there. You just like, but people don't know. Like you can rattle off a bunch of your favorite Joker comics, like because he's in so many good ones. You could say the Killing Joke and like theme, but very few people could probably rattle off the Riddler one. So I was like, well, that'd be a good series to talk about some of these, because even like that one, they're prominent figures, but people still, don't know like what is a good Riddler story, because he's one of those characters that you can really mess up too.
Oh yeah, when one of the times I seethed the most towards Tynan's run,
when he only had that run as one issue.
The crossword in the city, I was like, that's so cool.
It should have been he should have saved that for an arc.
That could have been an arc easy. I was so upset that I thought it was cool. Like, I liked what they did.
Because it kind of called back to year 0 a little bit.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. It was a call, and I think that's probably why they only kept it at 1. And I thought like how he did it with like kind of like Batman solving it through and showing you, like I thought it was really well written from that aspect.
No, it was a good issue,
but it was frustrating because it wasn't longer, and it could have been. I actually don't think the year 0 was as good as it should have been either. When it comes to Riddler arcs, I like it, but I think it wouldn't go up there still as one of my favorites. So it's really what I've been actually doing a lot this week, which has been great. I rewatched all the episodes, and there's only 3 that have Riddler in it of Batman the Animated Series.
Not many, yeah.
There's literally 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're great.
They're 3 good ones, though.
They're really good.
The Hand of Fate, the virtual reality one,
yep.
and what was the third one?
Riddler's Reform. That's where he works for the toy company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where he has
Whoa.
so yeah, the virtual reality with Commissioner Gordon.
That's a
And
classic.
then the best is still the first appearance, the Hand of the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Hand of Fate, yeah.
And I fell in love with him because Nightfall was one of my first arcs into comics. So Nightfall's a big thing for me outside of like silly, like reading an issue here and there. Nightfall was like the thing I opened up in my dad's collection and I got into. And that starts with Riddler and Two-Face is like a big part of that. I don't even know how it's technically laid out, but is it Prologue still technically having, or are they in Nightfall? I don't know where that line in the thing is, but I love the Two-Face and Riddler.
Yours is in a lot better condition than mine.
They're a big part of like softening up Batman, essentially.
Yep. I need to buy new copies of those for me to read because my kids have probably read that, I would guess, no less than 50 times.
So
yeah,
I think, Todd, to answer your question, just glancing through to refresh my memory, I think they're in the prologue because I think most of Nightfall is where you get Mad Hatter, you get Zaz, you get Killer Croc. Yeah. But Nightfall was the reason I got into Bane. And why Bane.
Oh my god. That's why I'm a little different because Bane's higher up on my list than yours, but he's on it. Our list is similar, but my numbers are a little different.
Well, and I think it was because someone else said, maybe it was you who said Bane, or maybe it was Asian Funk said Bane was a little higher for him. He would have been up there because, I mean, my affection for Bane is so strong because of that run. I mean, you and I are the exact same. Like, I went to Half Price Bookstore, I read through the Nightfall run, and just, I mean,
it's like
I have obviously when I was a kid. Now I've gone back and I'm replenishing because I can get them in great condition for $1.
Yeah, instead of
but the only reason Bane isn't higher though because I fell in love with those other four. Freeze,
and there's more
Joker, Riddler, and Two-Face. Now, Two-Face wasn't in Batman 66, but Joker, Riddler, and Mr. Freeze were. Yep. And those were some of my grandparents, we didn't have cable as a kid.
Yeah.
So my grandparents would tape it on their cable and send me VHSs of Batman 66.
That's awesome.
So since I was like 3, I would just put those in, and I only had like 3 tapes of them. And I know there was like the Mr. Freeze one where they were he turned them into snow cones. Like, will they get out of the snow cone? Will they not? Stay tuned. That's prevalent. Like the Joker surfing one was always on there, where him and Batman in the surf competition.
Yeah.
And all the Riddler ones. So like that's where like Batman 66 movie was the first Batman movie I saw. Like, so it just has an effect for me. And Two-Face wasn't in that, but Two-Face I clearly remember too, like his story arcs from the animated series, as well as just reading the animated series comic.
His story is strong in the animated series. They do him justice. He's a great, just smart gangster in the animated series. And I think Two-Face is why I love Godfather and Goodfellas so much. I think Two-Face as like that gangster Tommy gun, like that mentality is where like my love for gangsters sprouted. Well, I don't think it's the only reason, because those are also just amazing on their own, but it's one of those things that I just like. I love that.
And that's where Penguin falls down on my list.
Yeah. Ooh, I hit space.
Penguin falls down on my list because I feel like he gets underutilized so much. Like, I love the gangster Penguin. I love the grotesque gangster Penguin more than the let's play with the birds kind of Penguin.
Yeah. Outside of DeVito, because DeVito just is too good.
Well, but I like that grotesque, but DeVito's character doesn't focus, like, he's more.
But he's like 50-50. Like,
yeah, but it doesn't hinge on like the bird puns as much. Like, that's all. That's where like
He's a good mix of the two.
One of the best Batman the Animated Series episodes of the Penguins was where he gets out of jail and like he's expecting like everyone's going to be there to support him, and he's like there's no limo. He goes back to the hideout, no one's there at the hideout for him, and then he gets what they do in what is it, Cruel Intentions, or where they basically like, oh, we're gonna pick the kid and make him like tell him like, hell, you can sit with the cool kids and you're one of us. I'm like this, like they're literally just like, oh, and it's such a brilliant episode because you have the Batman and Bruce Wayne trying to figure out like what's like he knows what they're up to, but he can't tell Penguin.
Yep,
he knows what Penguin will do to them. He's like
so good.
like, the idea of the cruelty of like people, like that's where like the storylines for Penguin are good. Where it's like,
I like Penguin because he's the mob boss who's underestimated. Like people always underestimate him, and then he's just fucking brutal. Yep. And it's it's like smart. This is a guy you don't want to.
He's smart.
Which is why I can't wait for Colin Farrell's interpretation.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
I as soon as I saw the fact that when I watched that trailer and I didn't realize that was Colin Farrell, like the first time I watched it, I was like, holy cow, that's going to be so freaking good.
Yeah.
And
hopefully it's more than just like a short little cameo thing too.
It's more than 5 minutes. Yeah.
I'm okay with that though. Like I want more than 5 minutes, but like I don't think you're going to get.
He's just in a cell. Like
you're not going to get Paul Giamatti's Rhino. I don't like. You're going to get more, but I mean, I think
just remember less is more.
That's what
less
I think.
Is more sometimes
for sure. But like, but also when you get something like Jared Leto only being 15-20 minutes of Suicide Squad, and he's 3/4 of the trailer, that's when it bothers me. When it's like that could have been great if he was a surprise, like you weren't ready for Joker to be in Suicide Squad. I bet you people would have liked that more.
Mm-hmm.
But they made it look like he was going to be like this huge
pivotal role. Yeah,
and that's where it goes wrong. So this is perfect because Colin Farrell's Penguin was not like It's not in your face. There's no expectations. Who knows the role that's going to be there? It just is going to have some kind of role.
Well, the Joker was pivotal in Suicide Squad from the aspect of like Harley
story-wise, it was
Harley Quinn's like story.
But there was a lot of movie without him.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of hope that the Batman sets up Penguin in a way that, or uses him in a way that Riddler can really shine in this movie, and he's Penguin the bad guy. But you kind of see Penguin moving in such a way that like in the sequel,
we'll have him support Riddler for his own means. Have him do something else for the next one. Build Penguin to be something, and then all of a sudden, like
I don't want
because he keeps being ignored, which is Penguin's biggest strength is he's underestimated. Mm-hmm. So there's always a bigger threat than Penguin, and then all of a sudden Penguin's mayor.
I want to see a decent amount of them, right? Like I want to see a decent amount of them, but I don't want like a confrontation between him and Bat. Like I want him to be there, but there's not like a fight or they're not at odds with each other yet. But you can see that he's gonna be. Like he's gonna be a problem that's gonna need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that movie.
Going back to Suicide Squad a minute, I think it would have been a better movie if they were going after Joker, only because if he was the main bad guy, you have Harley Quinn on the team trying to hunt him down, and you don't know where her loyalties lie, And that's what I think that their mistake was. That they,
I like that.
If they're showing him so much in the movie, he's the guy that you got to try to capture. You don't know which way Harley's going to go, and then I think that that's the way that should have been. And when I discuss Suicide Squad, I think that that's the main point I make.
That's cool. That'd be fun.
I don't disagree with that.
That'd be cool.
I think some of the people's issue with the Suicide Squad is the the supernatural element of like, you know, the Enchantress aspect and the end scene. Like I get that. Like it would be more grounded. The problem though is how would you utilize Joker in the event of at the level that they needed to bring in the Suicide Squad as much as like for not as big an event where they're like, I will say that was at least how they justified it in that way to me of why, you know, the Justice League, you know, wasn't obviously formed really at that time. But,
Yeah.
You know, if they're just going after the Joker, I don't know if that's a big enough pull for them to recruit all these characters for the Suicide Squad.
That's a good point.
But I like that idea better because I think it adds a more depth to the story because the best parts of Suicide Squad are Will Smith and Margot Robbie who can act. Like, I mean, and not saying Jared Leto can't act either. I thought when he was on the Joker, he was fine. I had no problem with Gangster Joker.
No,
but I think
really
Steve's idea would have worked better if Heath was still around, because it would have been more believable that Heath Ledger's Joker needed a team to, like, nobody else was able to do it. He decided that Batman, he's taking his break from Batman.
The gangster Joker kind of leads it to that. If he's risen up in ranks and a really high respected, you know, mob type guy.
But he didn't have any backstory. Whereas if Heath was still around and they had that Joker, he would have already went toe to toe with Batman, almost beat Batman, almost took Gotham down, and there would have been all this like gravity behind him already. This was a brand new character, and it would have been harder to sell. That's all.
Well, and I mean and it would have worked better just because it wouldn't have been a new person portraying Joker.
Yeah, you're not introducing another.
That was his biggest thing. That's his biggest thing going against him. Like, Joker is such an iconic character. The actors that have played it have been such an iconic role that you give Jared Leto 15 minutes and it's not going to hold up to Jack Nicholson. It's not going to hold up to Heath Ledger.
Because
Cesar Romero.
He set the bar real high, and that's the problem. I agree with you, Bearded Comic Bro. They, you know, everyone has their favorite Joker, and it either comes down to Nicholson or Heath Ledger, and it's like, yeah. Oh well,
there's a new person in that ring now.
But you say that, and people even still don't like the Joker movie because whatever. But I mean, think about this aspect: is I don't think you'll ever see this. You have literally two people who have won an Oscar for playing the same comic book villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool. How many comic book characters have won an Oscar besides the Joker? Who is it?
There's one. No, I'm saying there's one that has.
Right. It's the Joker.
Yeah.
I feel like Gene Hackman might have been nominated.
I would have said 2 if Keaton could have gotten that the Birdman one.
And I feel like Brando probably got like a Best Supporting Actor nod because it's Brando.
Yes. Yep, because Brando. Yeah.
But I mean, think about that. Like, you had 2 separate characters that are portraying the same comic book character and win Oscars for it. Like, that's impressive. So that shows you like the greatness that Joker is for like a character. Like,
yeah.
And if only then 15 minutes of that storyline, that's why I think he gets so much backlash.
Yeah, which I think is unfortunate because I think if I'm trying to follow up Heath Ledger with a new Joker, I'm going different.
Yep.
I'm doing it on a dime, and I'm not going to try to do the same thing because it was basically what I just saw was perfection to the classic Joker. So I'm going to go the other way and be like, how can I do Joker a different way? Because I'm not going to try to step on that because it won't go well. It just won't work. There's just no way. And then Joaquin Phoenix, I'm like, and then you'd be like, oh, I could have done that. Okay. I could have made it really dark, depressing, and slow. Shit.
Yeah.
But I still think Riddler's a better character.
Well, Riddler and Joker are so similar.
I agree. Ooh, what's your take on Jim Carrey as Riddler?
I love it. Again,
I was worried. He's my dream Riddler. I wish he would do the Alfred Molina still being Doc Ock thing. I wish that they would be like, we're doing Riddler again.
Yes.
Get me Jim Carrey. Like, he should be, doesn't matter. It's like how Alfred was, oh God, oh no, what's his name? Alfred was Alfred until Michael Caine.
Michael Goff.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yes. I think that Jim Carrey could have done that, where it didn't matter the movie and stuff like that. He might have had to switch how he was a little bit and all that, but he is like,
I would love to see
Riddler for me.
I'd love to see him get another go at it. I really would. Paul Dany is going to be fantastic, but I would like to see another Jim Carrey Riddler.
I don't know if I'd want to right now. I don't know how, and I only say that I'm afraid it would be more like a Indiana Jones, Kingdom Skull Indiana Jones. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's. His style has changed as an actor a lot since that.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
He was the right choice at the right time. That's the thing. I agree with you.
That's why I think Jim Carrey's evolved with the character. He could do Riddler now as a dark. Oh, Sam King.
Sam, hot take.
Hot take.
Spicy burrito.
It would have been nice to see Billy D. Williams as Two-Face in the Burton verse.
We should.
I know that's a missed opportunity.
We should have seen Billy D. Williams.
Yep. That
just think if Warner Brothers wasn't so hyped about their money, which I mean, stupid.
Yep.
Like they wanted the toys, which I mean, I get it.
Yep.
They want the Happy Meal toys. They couldn't sell Happy Meal toys. They did, but parents were not happy that they got Happy Meal toys at the Penguin. When this guy's like biting people's nose.
Good though.
I get it. I
agree. I get it too.
But we would have Billy D. Williams. We would have had freaking Marlon Wayans as Robin.
God.
And that's where I have to go. Maybe we dodged a bullet. I don't know.
Or did we miss something special?
We could have had that, and we could have had Nick Cage as Superman. Like we could have had both of those things at around the same time.
Which is why it's so funny. Is they have? I mean, they
imagine that Justice
Robin
League movie.
They have a Robin action figure for Batman Returns, and they literally because they cut him out. They hadn't introduced Marlon Wayans. They did a paint job that it was a white Robin because otherwise people were like, why would you have had a black Robin when there was no storyline to it yet?
There wasn't anything. You just
It's because Marlon Wayans was supposed to be in Batman Returns, and that stuff got cut, and they cut it out of the script, and then it was going to be like, you get it. I mean, the dude still gets royalties
because he's on it technically. Like he's on the credits of it, just unseen.
And he was going to be Robin in his Burton's third Batman.
And the fact this is one of those things where, like I always talk about, if I could reach into an alternate reality, my first choice would be to get the complete series of Firefly, because I would grab that. My second choice is always Tim Burton's third Batman film, because it's sad that that's not a trilogy. It should be a trilogy. I want to know what that third one would be like and what it would be.
In current times, you would never have not gotten that.
No, they would have done it. It would have been.
Oh man, it's like if you get the two, then you're getting three. You get the trilogy.
It's a pendulum swing, right? They were so dark that then they brought Joel Schumacher in to swing the other way, and it was too far.
Yep.
And it took them so long. That's why there was that 10-year hiatus. I mean,
and it took a master class, like a literally master. They waited until they had one of maybe the greatest directors of all time.
Yeah.
Well, and he pulled so much from, stuff too that was, you were going to get a Darren Aronofsky Batman, doing the Frank Miller, which would have been buck wild.
That would have been crazy.
There's so many the Batman stories. Like, I've read more unpublished Batman scripts that like were actually like sent into Warner Brothers. Like there was one where it was the one that was going to be Man Bat and Scarface was going to be the two protagonists, and there was a and Scarface, and what they're going to do by trying to make it more realistic than like Scarface, or not Scarface. I'm sorry, Scarecrow.
I was going to say Scarface would be amazing. What a crossover!
Scarecrow. It was Scarecrow.
Say hello to my little batarang.
And Man Bat. That was what it would be. And instead of having like the stitching for a mask for Scarecrow, Scarecrow was going to be in it. Had a tussle with Man Bat, and he was going to be scarred from him, and it was going to be then like stitched. Like
it's his own face, but that's his new face.
His new face was going to be like a Scarecrow, and that's where he got the Scarecrow. Like, I mean, they swung the pendulum, and these scripts were saying, "Oh, you don't like bat nipples? Cool, we're going to swing the pendulum all the way back to the dark side."
Yeah,
and it just like, man, you can go down a rabbit hole, and I do it so often because I love it.
A legit Batman horror movie. That's like.
That's kind of what we're getting. Supposedly.
No, I mean like a horror.
No, we're getting more of a Batman 7, which is a crime thriller. Which I wouldn't call 7 a horror movie as much. And I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I think if you want a Batman horror movie, you would have gone. They'd swing the pendulum to bring in Scarecrow. You have it take place in Arkham Asylum, where Batman gets put into Arkham Asylum basically. And he's dealing with, you're taking the Arkham Asylum game, the concept of the Arkham Asylum game, the first one.
It's a good story.
And you're putting that into the movie. You play onto the spheres of, his parents. You play onto the spheres of insecurity, of not being good enough. You play onto the fears of letting the Joker, you put that in the world it's in the world where he failed and Jason died.
You take Batman out of control. You add claustrophobia.
Yep.
You add the detective part again, because the detective Batman we've lost a long time ago. Like him being a legit detective. Like he's Dick Tracy meets Bruce Lee. Like he not really, but bearded's on, and I think it's the best combo.
Bearded, if I'm not mistaken, when they were going to do Scarecrow. Weren't they going to do a flashback with Jack Nicholson as Joker as like one of the moments of fear?
So what was going to happen was originally so Schumacher was already working on a third Batman movie, and they were going to go. Schumacher basically told his screenwriters like, "I need the script now," and they're like, "It's not ready. It's too much. It's not going to work." And what was going to happen was Schumacher's version was going to be Harley Quinn, who was a toy maker and had an issue with Bruce Wayne. So like Bruce Wayne's like knocked out like her family's
Wayne Enterprises gets
out her business, and Scarecrow was in it as Batman's foil. And they pitched the idea then, and they were working on getting all the contracts signed that Batman was going to be in Arkham Asylum. I think it was like Batman Unchained is what they were calling it. And they were going to do a dream sequence of having all the villains from Burton's, all the villains from, so Riddler, Jim Carrey Riddler, Two-Face again. You were going to have Jack Nicholson, and they were going to be in almost like a courtroom scene that you had from like the animated series, judging Batman for all his, and that was going to be into it. So that was going to be, they were going to introduce the Scarecrow in the third Schumacher movie. And when they presented it they're like, Batman and Robin just flopped. It didn't really flop, actually. It made good
It
money.
didn't flop. It just
It just it was
It didn't smash. It
Well, it
wasn't.
didn't
A,
smash
yeah,
what
it
they
it
didn't-
didn't smash, and it got a lot of
and it got a lot of
recoil.
negative buzz. It got a lot of negative reviews. I mean, they still made
It was one of those things where it made a lot of money because it made a lot of money before the movie came out,
Right.
because they already had action figures. It was all licensed. They did it. But then they were like, if we do a third,
we can't.
it's not going to go as well, because this last one, it just ruined our whole reputation on the whole franchise.
I mean, it's.
And then and you see, and so when you see, and when so the story goes, when they saw the higher ups, you want us to try and get Jack Nicholson, you want us to get Tommy Lee, Jim Carrey, who after that
we
was
lost that ability.
like we're
He was the
not-
$20 million man too.
It's a
Yeah.
3.8 on Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
There's the problem right there.
3.8.
They lost their chutzpah. Like they had that like forever hiccuped a little bit, but it was fine.
However,
Batman
it
and Robin ruined the reputation and made the franchise something
joke.
that people were scared of.
it made 42 million its opening weekend, which in
Opening,
1997,
Problem.
in 1990, it was 125 million to make. So
So when you make what a third of it on opening weekend,
the domestic gross did not cover the cost of the movie. You had to go worldwide to cover
Which
the
is
cost
fine,
of the
but they
movie.
still had merchandise.
with all
They
the
made
merchandise.
money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They for sure made money, but they didn't. It wasn't like one of those things where opening weekend they're like,
fucking made
go.
goddamn money because
I guess you gave it to them.
look at this motherfucking shit. They made
It
money,
doesn't have the nipples on
but-
it though. Does it?
but it does have a.
Presto changeo.
Nice. Oh, it looks like Sam's problem with Tommy Lee
Oh,
Jones
shit.
was that he doesn't play both
No,
sides.
he just plays the crazy
Yeah, that's fair.
side. Ooh, well, look at that.
Nice.
does not look like Uma Thurman.
No, that's not Uma in the least. Is that Mira from the modern
That's what I
Aquaman
thought it was at
series?
first. That's what I thought it was at
It
first.
looks like Mira.
That's a great
It's a
mirror.
really good Mira.
Right here.
Oh, look at that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So these are the types of things you're going to start to see. We'll tackle the Batman shelf a lot.
I'm excited.
Nice.
What did you think? Speaking of Uma and all of that, obviously that's one of the biggest Bane transgressions
Yes.
of maybe all time, because that was bullshit. That
he
was,
was basically a henchman,
Yeah.
he was a
a roided.
was-
He was mindless too. Like
roided.
easily,
Could have just been a
easily
robot the whole
manipulated.
time.
He was just a white dude.
Yeah.
He didn't have an accent because he didn't really speak. It didn't matter. What did you think of City of Bane?
So I felt like it tapped into the feels of Nightfall, because it reminded me I think it was Tom King's modern day take on Nightfall.
It felt like it was trying to pull at my heartstrings. Like it felt intentional. Like, remember how great Nightfall is? And I'm like, fuck you, I do.
And I mean, because that's what Tom King does a lot. He pulls, he plays, I mean, we have the Phantasm in the Batman Catwoman series because of that.
Yep.
He pulls off on,
I probably would not be pulling the book if it was not.
But even so, you guys read issue 2, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, the fact that he put Porky's Bar in on issue 2 is paying that tribute back to his Elmer Fudd issue, which is great. And if you haven't read it, read that on Disney, or not Disney. I'm saying
That's
Disney.
one of my favorite comic.
That's the future. That's 8 years in the future, Bearded.
That's one of my favorite single issue
You
comics.
heard it here first on
Period.
Late Night. You can read Batman Elmer Fudd in 8 years when it's on Disney Plus.
Oh, we need
When
that,
Warner
too,
Bros-
right?
Damn it, Nick! That's after 1 o'clock.
Oh well, not anymore because it's late.
Apparently it's 12:30 now. All right,
No, it's
we're fine. We have no
12:35.
rules.
It was someone said it.
But yeah, Elmer
Late
Fudd.
night.
Elmer Fudd, I just literally bagged and put that issue.
You have it? I don't have it.
Oh yeah, I have. I
want that.
have it.
I looked forever, and all the ones online were going, and then like,
Is it?
watch
Wait,
out.
Is it a big book?
It's
I
not
got a second
big
print of it.
It's
not
like
a big book, but it's
like
a book.
$25, I think, on
Yeah.
eBay.
All right.
Yeah,
If you want,
like it's one of those where it's like, ugh,
Yeah, no, I have it.
like, I want it, but
the second printing is like a dark red, or it's like the shades of red are just off. So I
Yeah.
wait, not buy it, and I found it at a shop for like $10 or something
Okay.
one time. So
No, I
I'd
have
pay-
that. It's
I'd
good.
probably
It's
pay
really
10
good.
for it.
It's one of my favorite like offshoots of Batman because it's amazing.
Oh, is it
What?
not anymore?
It's
$8.
on Infinite.
$8.
There you go. Yeah, I have that
is it
book.
the first or
But
second?
not the red one. I have the one that looks different than that.
That's what you got to watch. See, that's what you have.
Well,
to
this is the it's the variant cover.
Okay, yeah, I have the other. I have the A cover because that's my life.
Yeah, the other ones are 20, 35. The variant cover is actually really good. I think is it?
No, that's a cool
Scotty
variant
Young?
cover. If you just wanted to have it, then that's awesome. That's a cool cover.
That's the variant. That's another variant. That's
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
'cause they
fucking
did-
love that.
when they did that run.
But I have the one where it's the classic Looney Tunes style, where he's
Yeah,
is that the A cover?
yeah, the one where the Bat Meadow and
Yeah,
Elmer Fudd's creeping. Yeah,
yeah, he's doing the
Be very, very
Bob
quiet.
Fingerman.
I'm hunting Batman.
Yeah, we
that was what's great about that
such
series.
a good issue.
You had the A covers were all the realistic versions, and the B covers were the animated versions. That's
Yeah.
like the stories in the book. Having the
It's for sure. It's for sure on Universe. That's where I've read it. But I would love to have a hard copy of that.
Yeah.
That's one I gotta find.
yeah, it's a good
But
one.
anyway, yeah. But yeah, he does play to that and bring stuff back, which is, I mean, that's nice. It's something I always appreciate from any author, really.
And well, and we did have why am I blanking on his name?
Excuse me.
Was it Sean Gordon Murphy? Right, Sean
Mhm.
Murphy. Yeah, he does the same thing with what they did with White Knight. They're basically like, hey, take anything that you want from Batman universe and you can play with it. Which is why like we get the Gray Ghost in freaking the new Harley Quinn series here. Like, when I saw that B cover, I was like, I have to have it. There's a freaking Gray Ghost on a Batman book. And I'm emailing Key Collector. I'm like, why do you not have this on your Key app yet? Like, this is the first appearance of Gray Ghost in comics. People care about this. And apparently nobody cares about it because Key Collector never responded, and Key Collector has never put it up on their app that the Gray Ghost's first appearance is in Harley Quinn White Knight issue 3. But
Someone was talking about that cover in the Discord channel, and I spent maybe like $9 on it. I got it off Amazon. I go back to Pittsburgh after Thanksgiving. I
You
could have
found
got
it.
it for cover price at one of the stores.
yep, they're still out there at the stores. I that's the only time I've double bought an issue too, because I'm like, this is a freaking first appearance of Gray Ghost. It's on the cover. People are gonna. I'm like, this is gonna be hot. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the only one who's obsessed as much about the Gray Ghost, I guess. But
That's okay.
when
I went with the A cover. And I
It's
remember
probably one of the best episodes.
You almost had me buy it, but it was like, I don't care. But I
It's
get it.
probably one of
But
the
I
best
get
single
it.
episodes on animated series.
it's up there. It's up there. I mean,
I'll rewatch the series. I plan on rewatching animated series. It's been like I've started it a few times and made it like a few episodes in, but now that it's on HBO, I plan on actually trying. And then I'll be like, oh, I should have got that.
we can't hear you.
That's on me. I muted my mic. I have a late night announcement. So I've recently went through all of my comic books. that I had like batched up and everything. Everything's finally put away. I have 21 comics that I don't have a home for. I don't intend on keeping. And each Saturday, each Saturday I'm going to just randomly give one away. So
You're doing that right now?
I'm going to do that right now because whoever's still watching, congrats. So you three, I want you
Sam
to
or Chaos.
I want you to make the rules of whatever like question they need to answer. I'm going to arbitrarily, subjectively decide on which answer I think is best, and then they get to choose 1 through 21 because that's how many comics I have to give away, and they will win a comic.
So there's probably less than 5 people because
is one of them you?
One of them's me, my computer watching, so I can chat. So
okay.
So
you can be in it.
We're just talking about Batman.
No,
so I don't care.
Bearded and Steve are totally in it because it's non-comic.
Yeah, no, I want. So I'll decide the question.
Then we can pick the question,
and then your favorite answer. So we want like a Well, I would say your top 3 Jokers ranked.
Ooh, I like it. That's your top 3 live action Jokers.
Ooh, now you threw a twist in.
Live
do you want?
action
Do you want
Joker.
you just want Jokers?
Well,
I was thinking of the movies.
It change the parking lot.
Yeah. Earlier we were talking about Heath Ledger, Phoenix, Nicholson. So of the 4, like ranked favorite to least, I guess.
You've knocked out 2 of my favorite Jokers right off that bat.
Hamill.
You can't forget
too easy.
Romero, though.
Caesar Romero. No. I'm not saying it has to be those 4. I want your top 3. Your top 3 of live action.
Live action?
Okay. Just top 3 live action.
Top 3 movie Jokers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ranked.
Ranked.
Yeah. It's gotta be 1, 2, 3 movie Jokers.
Okay. Hamill is 1. Mask of Phantasm with a theatrical release.
Yep.
So it counts.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So Hamill's 1.
He's in several of them.
Ledger is 2. Romero's 3.
Okay. Steve?
Number 1 for me is Jack Nicholson because Batman '89 was like one of the first ever movies I saw that I can remember in the theater besides Dick Tracy, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Nicholson's top for me.
Okay.
And then number 2, it's Ledger. We saw that at a midnight screening, and from beginning to end, he could do no wrong. And number 3, I got to give a shout out to Cesar Romero because he was the first. He was the one that paved the way for everyone else.
Oh shit!
So
anybody in the comments then?
So if no one's in the comments, then so it literally has to come down to.
We're up to 6 viewers now.
Is it Mark Hamill or is it Jack?
Or is it Nicholson? No.
Oh wait, Sam's in here. Sam, we need your top
number 1. All right,
we need your top 3,
I need
Sam.
to pee, so this is perfect. So we're gonna give chat a little bit of time to catch
a couple
up.
minutes for the chat. Sam,
that's
give
number
us your top
3.
3.
If you're keeping count, that's 3.
Nick, can you put it just on Discord? Don't put it on Twitter, because I want Discord people to be in it if they can be, if they're around. But I don't want Twitter because Twitter will just
do it right in the general. I'll tag everyone,
and I won't choose the Twitter person if they show up and do it. So
no, we're good. Everyone, we need your top 3 movie Jokers
for a comic giveaway.
Ranked right now.
Okay, Sam, who's your other team then?
Yeah, we need Sam's 2 and 3 still.
Because I will preface this. There's no love like just love
notification
for Jack Nicholson for me. And I will preface this. There's no love like. What's that? I'm hearing my echo.
I'm hearing bearded again.
Okay, so So Sam's the same. He's flip flopped Romero. Oh, he's added Hamill. That's a good one.
Oh, Jack Romero Hamill.
He switched. He switched the order a little bit. He took out Ledger. My thing is, I grew up. My first Batman movie in theaters was Phantasm. My next Batman movie was Forever. I was one of the kids that is why we probably didn't get a third Tim Burton Batman because of my mom. I was not allowed to watch Returns and Batman 89 until I was maybe middle school or high school. It was so far down the road, and I love both those movies. There's no disrespect, but I don't have that I went and saw that in the theater, and I respect that with people that are I saw that was my first Batman.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I mean, that's why
you're Hamill Romero, Hamill Heath Romero bearded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm Hamill.
We got at least 2 people typing in the Discord right now. Stony and P
and Steve
Buhorn.
You were Jack Heath Romero, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just getting it on the chat to be so I can see it because you guys are making this. Nick picked a very good question.
Stoney's asking if animated movies count. Yes, they do.
Yep. As long as it's a feature.
All right, we got P. Buttehorn says Dark Knight, Batman 89, Mask of Phantasm.
So he's going.
So
Ledger.
he's
going Ledger, Nicholson.
Nicholson, Romero.
Yep.
No, Hamill.
Hamill.
Shut up.
Fuck you.
You guys.
Way to go, Todd. Shut up, Todd. That's my new favorite GIF.
I know. I was like, oh no, he discovered it.
Well, because I was trying to go. I always go to Christmas Vacation. I'm like, is there something
Oh no, Margot.
Yeah.
Why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. And so I'm like,
it's a classic.
And so I typed in Todd and that popped up, and I was like,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, Stoney
I've seen it before, but not on the Discord. I was like, oh no, it's been discovered.
I don't know who the actor is, but Stoney says Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, Batman Under the Red Hood.
That's Hamill, isn't it?
It's got to be Hamill.
And then Batman Under the Red Hood.
Oh no, they're 2 different ones. Did he pick Hamill twice? Because that would make me so happy.
And then The Dark Knight.
He's Hamill, Heath Hamill. If you can get that, fact check that.
Batman Beyond, The Return of the Joker, and then what was the other one he said? Batman Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood.
That's got to be him too.
It's got to
No,
be.
it's not.
He did all the animated ones except for one guy. There's only one other guy who did the animated.
It's John DiMaggio, the guy who voiced Bender.
It's the other guy. Yeah, it's the only other guy to do Joker animated.
Well,
shit.
Tony lost.
Outside of video games, because Hamill retired, there's a video game that doesn't have Hamill in it afterwards, and then Hamill reprised almost exactly after the video game was done.
Was that the one that was kind of out of continuity, the Arkham Origins?
Yeah, it was that. Yes, it was Origins because it was after City. He said he retired from being Joker. He spent 2 years not being Joker and then was right back to being the Joker.
He was out, but they pulled him back in.
Yeah. Classic Hamill. Which also Hamill being Joker and then Trickster makes me wildly happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so perfect. Of course, they're like, we need Trickster. We don't want it to be Joker, but he's kind of Joker. And then they get Mark Hamill to fucking do the voice for Trickster. It's just
perfect.
What the fuck, man?
All right, Todd.
I'm gonna go pee. So there's still some chat time because I didn't pee yet. Because I can't. Nick picked way too engaging of a question.
Sorry.
Thanks, buddy. I was ready for what's your favorite blueberry topping?
No, good one. Because I thought of that while
muffin topping. Sorry, muffin topping. It's blueberry.
Go pee.
I'm peeing.
Banana.
I thought of that while we were talking about it, and then everything just kept moving, and I didn't get a chance to bring it up. So it was like, oh, I got to come up with something. Fine. I'm still wondering this. I guess I haven't come up with mine. My number one would. I'm gonna go with Heath as my number one.
Okay.
No, no. Hamill's my number one. Hamill's my number one. Heath's my number two, and Phoenix would be my number three.
Ooh, okay.
Good choices.
I really liked Phoenix a lot.
He did a great job. I can't.
So,
Again, I'm tapping in on the nostalgia. So
yeah, I am with Hamill, and I mean it's hard not putting Nicholson up there because that's definitely the nostalgia string. And Romero, sure. I mean, 66 was probably my first Batman, but I just don't remember a lot of it. If I see an old episode or something, it's not like, oh, I remember this one as much, which maybe it would have replay value. Though I don't know if it holds up as well with the cheese and stuff.
yeah, I bought as soon as they put them out on Blu-ray. I bought that Blu-ray set and all the digital, and I went through the entire series, and I still will go on Batman 66 all the time.
Yeah, I should try. I should try it
because
you remember
the Riddler, and my love for the Riddler started with Frank Gorshin. Like, down, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out and see. But they're hard picks.
It is. It's not easy.
When I was young, I watched Batman 66, and there was an episode where John Astin is in a Riddler costume. And for the longest time, I thought, I know that Frank Gorshin was the Riddler, but I don't know why John Astin's in the episode, but he's in the Riddler costume. And I'm like, that always boggled my mind. And I have to go back and read to see if he was just trying to emulate the Riddler. But it was one of those ones where I saw it when I was young and it stuck with me. And it's just a mind blower.
Yeah. Who else? There's Leto. There's I feel like there's somebody I'm forgetting, but maybe there isn't. Let me check. Who would you want to play? Like if for the Batman that's coming out, like if they were to announce a sequel and they were like, we're gonna do it, we're gonna add the Joker. Is there anybody, Steve, that you think could do a good job? I mean, the thing with the Joker, right, is that they're always like a surprise. Like Heath Ledger was announced and everybody's like, what? Like it didn't seem like it would make sense.
Here's the thing with Joker is that they should do it like how they introduced Spider-Man in Civil War, where it's just he's in the movie. Now, I've seen fan art where they've had like William Dafoe as Joker.
Oh, yeah.
But I used to read Wizard magazine all the time, and they used to do like a fan cast of like a casting call section, and they were going to fan cast The Dark Knight. And the one that blew me away back in the day was they wanted Tim Curry to play like an older Joker.
Yeah. Oh, he'd be so good.
That would have been perfect. Like if they did it back in like the late 80s, early 90s, like Tim Curry, like even David Bowie would have been a great Joker if he was still alive. Like if they made all those movies, like when they fan cast it, like if this movie was made in like the 80s or 90s, you have all these classic characters like Bowie, Tim Curry. I would think that you'd want to go like an older grizzled Joker.
Yeah.
But I can't think anybody off the top of my head because it's a good question, and it's one that I'd have to sleep on because you have so many actors nowadays.
My dream Joker always was, which is really sad because it can never happen, and it hurts. But my answer, I don't know what the actual question was, but my fantasy Joker was always Robin Williams.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
because he was so dark. He really was polar opposites. He did that super dark 1 hour photo.
Oh, he would have been. Oh, yeah.
And then he was the genie in Aladdin. Like mixing those two. Oh man, I think he could have been.
I think Jim
different and
Carrey could be.
special.
I think Jim Carrey
Jim
could be.
Carrey could be really good too. Yeah.
For if you're going older, the original question that we were stalling with was it for the new The Batman movie. If like sequel is announced, like who would you fan cast for Joker in the new upcoming? Would be like a younger Joker most likely.
Yeah.
I'm just mad I had to leave to go get a drink when Steve was talking about John Astin playing the Riddler. So.
Oh, I was telling Nick, it was like I saw it when I was real young, and I'm like, why the hell is John Astin in this Riddler costume? And I never figured it out. I'd have to.
It was because of contract disputes. Frank Gorshin.
And how was he just?
Frank Gorshin.
Was he in just one episode, or what happened?
He was in
Comic Bro.
John Astin was in two technically, because they always did the two-ish episodes were split up, but it's really one story. He was at the tail end of season 2 because season 1, Frank Gorshin's Riddler was the most prominent villain that was showcased the most. He thought he was one of the stars of the show. He wanted more money. They said no, basically, and it was and the movie was out already with him in it, so they replaced him with Frank. So like Frank, that shows you, and I mean that's true, shows you how many episodes that he was in. I think he only was in season 1 of the 3 seasons. There's no Riddler in season 3, and there's only that one episode towards the end of Riddler in season 2. And so that goes to show Elisa's point where he's like, I was the main guy in season 1. Like I should have gotten, but
yeah, should have worked. But my fantasy Riddler casting, which is kind of ruined now because of MCU, would be Benedict Cumberbatch.
And he could still do it.
No, he could still do it, but he's a very prominent MCU person. It'd be like if Chris Evans was somehow like 2 Marvel characters. That'd be crazy.
Like that would be super weird.
That'd be so weird. How would they even handle that?
It'd be like they almost forget he existed in one.
Yeah, it's almost like it was so bad people were like, whatever.
So, because he was in that. He was also in Losers on DC comic.
Yep.
He was also in. There was another like obscure comic movie that he was in. I don't know.
Is it Push?
I feel like Push. Yep.
It's someone where they have like the telekinetic powers or something. Him and I think I have it on DVD. But
Chaos, what is your?
Lost to me.
Yeah, Chaos, you answer that, and then I will. Because what I was doing, I'll stall while Chaos comes up with his. I was doing my best to clear my mind because I was trying to get all of the other people's answers out. So I was fantasy drafting who replaces Stafford in the Lions, because he's leaving. Which good for him.
There you go.
Jack, Joaquin, Heath. Oh, all right.
That's basically my picks.
Judge.
It's basically my picks.
So my number one.
Wait. Oh, he just changed it. He just changed it.
Jack Joaquin.
Wow, he dropped Heath. Wow.
That's so funny. He switched. My top 3 are Jack Nicholson is. I cleansed my mind. I was thinking of my fantasy. I thought of Drew Brees on the Detroit Lions. I was thinking, if Stafford's gone, who do I want? And I was thinking of Drew Brees on the Lions and getting this young crew, and Drew Brees is leading them to this whole thing. And when I went back to the Joker, Jack Nicholson is he is the guy in my head. I can't not think when I immediately think of him. And then after that, it is Heath Ledger, because just Dark Knight is pivotal in how it was like Joker to a T. If you're going to make like the best Joker that's an amalgam of the Jokers, Heath really brought it together. So Jack, Heath, and then thinking and thinking and thinking, and I'm just trying to get them out of my head. And it's Romero after that, because it's Batman 66 wasn't my first Batman and Joker thing after that. And then I'm like, but Hamill animated series, and it's this whole Romero Hamill. And as soon as I think about Hamill, I can't not think about animated series and the video games that are amazing. So mine are Jack, Heath, Hamill. Easy.
I win.
But the order, just because Jack's the first thing I think about, because this is best three. It's not what I first think about. I think Hamill is number one. When I actually think about the scope of Joker,
that's respectful. Yeah, that's fair.
It's Hamill.
That's why I originally didn't want to just live action, because it's like it's Hamill otherwise.
It's Hamill. It's just fucking Hamill.
Right?
And then for just best Jokers ever in terms of like best live action, who they are, Heath is better than Jack. Jack is amazing and it's great, but it's Heath and then it's Jack. And Jack gets there because of nostalgia, because I probably would say but that's my three. It's Hamill, Heath, Jack. Who matches up with that? There's so many combinations. Somebody has to.
I don't think anyone actually matches up to that.
I don't think anybody even has the top three the same.
I don't think you have your top three unless someone from the Discord. I'm missing it. I'm looking at what you posted. Me.
We could spin a wheel though.
So those are my three.
So time out. Steven, who had oh, it's posted twice. Okay. So I had Hamill, Heath, Romero. You had Jack, Heath, Romero. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely beat
you. Both hit both. But you have the top one.
I have your top two, 1, 2.
Yeah, you have the rankings in a better position, so that's there. Jack, Joaquin,
the wheel finished.
Chaos has 2 of the top 3, but they're backwards, so that's not as good. And then, what was yours, Nick?
We didn't write it down. He's changing.
Yeah, and I changed it a couple times. I know I had Phoenix in there, and I had Hamill, and I had Heath, I believe, were all my picks. Although I thought I had Nicholson in there, but maybe I didn't.
Well, here you go.
But Stoney had Hamill, and then
he had Hamill, Heath, and then he had Bender.
So that's just as good.
Okay.
No, it's the same top 2, correct?
He had Hamill, Bender, Heath.
Oh, Hamill, Bender, Heath.
Yeah.
Didn't we have one other comment?
Another top 2, but not as good.
Buthorn has your 3. Todd, Buthorn in your Discord has 3. They're out of order.
Got it?
All 3. He has Heath, Nicholson, and then Hamill. But so he has all 3. So he should win.
Yeah. No, he actually they're not in the right order, but they're almost.
I got the wheel.
Now I have the first 2 right, and
your first 2 dead on,
and
get a wheel between Pete and Bearded. I think that's fair. I'm gonna say that those are top 2 nailing is very impressive. Top 3 out of order, also very impressive. I'm not gonna make a decision between the 2. Let's do a wheel, 50-50 shot.
Oh, we're doing 50-50?
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
Those are the 2. What did Sam have?
Sam had something on there, but it
Jack,
won't let me.
Romero, Hamill.
Yeah,
but those aren't in order, so those
Chaos is out. Sam's out. Steve's out.
Yeah. Sam's out.
Sam's out.
Yeah, it's just Pete and Bearded. Those are the only 2 that I would designate as like top tier picks.
Sam had.
He had 2 of the 3, but they're not even in order.
They're not even close order. He had Jack, Romero, Hamill. So he's completely out.
Close, but not. Yeah, it's not as close.
Ready?
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Let's see who the winner is.
There's so much wheel. After it slows down on the 50-50, it's so funny. It's like, oh, who's it gonna be? Hey!
Woo!
All right.
There you go.
Good job, Bearded.
And now you got to pick a number between what, 1 and 22?
1 and 21.
1 and 21.
I will say they're not all great, but there's like maybe a fourth of them are actually like
That's
pretty
fun.
good. So,
All right.
You want me to spin a wheel?
It'll be like Wheel of Fortune.
and I will play integrity role. If you have it, I'm gonna trust you. If you already have it,
This is the Gerardo of giveaways.
overhyped, under-deliver. That's what I specialize in.
He has a box full of Convergence tie-ins and New Universe and
Yeah, that's what I got.
Heathcliff, Alf
All right.
comics.
It's all the bullshit.
They're all like
All right,
6.2s.
Sticking with
Hard reader copies.
so what
Apparently Spider-Ham.
what do I have to do, Todd? If I have it, just say I have it.
Yeah, I'll trust you. I'm gonna trust everybody because I don't care about these. If you say you already have it, I'll
Oh,
We
you're
can
saying
try
so
it.
like if I said I don't want that, I'm like, oh, I have that one. I get to get. Oh, I get it. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out where's the integrity. Like what? Like if it's a key book and I have it, I can't have it. No, just-
Oh no, if it's key book, sure. No, if it's one of the good ones, that's on me. But
so
if you have it and you're like,
I didn't. I don't know how I could get to Hamill with this. I'm going to.
ooh,
So I'm going to go with Heath on it, and since that came out in 2008, I'll go with 8.
nice. All right.
I'll stick with the Batman theme. Number 8.
Snowman, 8. Number 8.
Shit. I think personally, I think this is one of the good ones. This is not the front. Black issue one,
Ooh, that's a good one.
first printing.
That's a good poll.
I think that's one of the good ones.
That's a really good book.
That's a really good one because I
Yeah.
played and I need to read it.
Hey,
Oh,
dude.
I don't have the singles, so
Oh,
There
that's
we
good.
go.
That's a good one. Especially first print. That's great. I think that sold
Good
out
work.
just recently.
I think it's gone too. So I happen to have 2 of them. So there we go. Hey, what a good inaugural one! Because I was like, he's gonna get something dumb.
that's why I. It's because I stuck with Batman.
Yep. You gotta stick true.
Yeah.
I found a way to get the Batman, and I'm so glad that Chaos is so upset that this segment's taking so long. But he's still watching enough comics, so.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's
By the
all
way,
we,
you want the
all we
fight?
got.
The fight's still going? It has to be over.
I didn't know there was a fight.
Yeah, Conor McGregor was
Dustin and Greg.
fighting UFC.
Oh.
See, I'm too cheap because I live in Columbus. Like, I don't have.
Yeah, it was a pay-per-view.
So I'm not buying it on pay per view, and I'm not going to the bar at 12 o'clock to watch the main event yet.
Connor got KO'd,
Spoiler alert! I was gonna watch that, but
is what he said.
Oh, fuck you, man!
That's what he said.
Hilarious. Fuck you, guys. Chaos. It's such a
Were you really gonna watch it, Todd?
I was gonna watch. I mean, I don't give a shit.
You can
I was
probably see it
gonna
on
watch.
Facebook right now.
Well, I asked like
I'll
three
still watch
minutes ago, so you should have stopped this.
Oh no, it's fine. I'll still watch it. But
Oh, I'll watch him. I'll watch him get knocked out.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's almost more enticing.
I wasn't gonna watch it, but now I am.
Wow.
All right, bagged and boarded. You know what? I have a really good sticker that I can.
I hope you send me my own stickers back.
I got 2. I have a spare of these. But this is my display one. So that one.
Don't show it, Nick, because we don't want to get this copyrighted. And then
Yeah, It's all gone. All of this
I'm just saying,
amazing
if you go on-
content will get
if-
stricken out.
If you
Here's my
want to see it,
backup.
it's on Facebook already. I mean, it'll get taken down by morning, but
Oh, if I cut this out right, I could put your face right over top, and it would fit. It would work almost perfectly on this.
But
cover.
wouldn't it be perfect?
Look at.
No, but
it
I'm
might
saying
be,
like,
it might be a hate crime.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
I don't think you can do that.
No,
Maybe
if I was gonna make a hate crime.
that's fine.
Would just be so funny. Like we're all like, hey guys, I sent you guys stickers, and we just send like, why did I get a bearded sticker? So Todd just sends bearded stickers out to other people. Like, oh yeah, thanks for these stickers. Like,
Yeah, this is great. The ones I send to people are stuff my box. Those are my favorite ones. I also have, this is more offensive, but I have a biscuit bitch sticker from my when I was visiting Seattle. It was my favorite biscuits and sausage gravy joint.
ooh,
It's literally a place founded on biscuits and sausage gravy. It's the best.
That's a great breakfast, man. It hits the spot.
All right. I need your address because I don't think we've sent anything to each other.
Ooh, just say it live on the show.
you guys have been Cole's been my relay to you guys.
I know, and I haven't gotten anything from him. So
Stickers, right?
I literally asked him because he was like, I got a bunch of stickers. I'm like, can I have a couple? And he's like, okay.
I literally
No, no,
sent
no.
him a bunch. So I'm like, I'm sending you a package. Like, give these to Nick and Todd too,
I literally had to ask for them.
because I was sending him. I think I sent him Batman books. Is what I did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did. That was definitely it. But yeah, I'll get this out to you. Soon.
That's a win. That's a
Yeah,
win.
man, that was a good pull.
That's a great.
Are you gonna say what all the other ones are?
What?
Are you gonna show what any of the other ones are?
I
or just
want
as you
to,
give
but
them away?
really, I think this is
I
better.
think you should keep it a secret.
It's
yeah.
the luck of the draw.
This might be the only time I show it. I think in future ones, I'm going to be like, hey, post on Twitter what you get, because I don't even want to show. I'm just going to do this. I like bearded, so he gets to.
But I like that idea. Like, knowing, like, oh, hey, what am I gonna get? I will say though, like, if that would have made it onto a Twitter and an Instagram post,
Yeah.
if it was like
A mystery.
no, but I'm trying to think of something like, I don't even know, like Spider-Man 45 of Amazing Spider-Man, like the new Amazing Spider-Man run. It might make the story.
might make the story.
So it might make the story. No, Chaos, we're not going to send it to a brothel.
It's a brothel. It's got to be a brothel.
It's probably the Bunny Ranch.
It's the Bunny Ranch.
Strippy strip club.
Okay, do you guys want an actual you know what I will do? I will tease a couple of the really good ones in here.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
I'll let people know. I like that.
Oblivion.
Oh, that's a good one.
number
Is
one.
that first or second print?
That's a first print.
Ooh. I think I only get
I got one of those.
This one's gonna make Nick want to enter this.
I have it.
Oh, you already have. Oh, because you got that from your brother's stack, right?
Yours looks like it might be in better condition. I'll trade you before the giveaway.
Oh, you know what? Sure. I don't care. Gideon Falls number one, first printing.
Yeah, I have 1 and 2,
Uh,
and a bunch of others in the middle.
I
Not
got.
all of them. Missing a couple.
I like this is one of. Oh, I also have a Gideon Falls number 2, but I think that's funnier. Terrifics 1 and 2.
Nice. I got those. Yeah.
Which is a good series.
That's Jeff Lemire. That's
Yeah.
3 Jeff Lemire books in there.
Those are the
I
quality.
want to Google all these addresses, but I really don't.
John Wick number 1,
Oh, that's cool.
which I think is fun. I think that's a second printing for full disclosure. Oh, I've got, because I misordered these. and I don't actually have the collection, so it bothers me that I have them. But I have 2 All-Star Batman rebirths. I believe these are Jock covers.
Yep.
Yeah, they're both Jock covers.
Mm-hmm.
So I got these in there.
I feel like that would have been more fitting for the tonight, but
Yeah, it would have, but you didn't pick it.
I'm still happy with what I got.
You got to really, I mean, dude, that's, oh man. Black's
better. Black's better, and it's harder. It's going to be a lot harder to find than some Jock covers.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know, because I think, Nick, was it you who bought like 4 books and posted about it?
Well, I got the whole series off their website, but they're because of Corona shutdowns and stuff. It took like forever to actually go up.
This is why you're getting one.
I think when you posted about it, I then went to look at it. I'm like, oh, that sounds like an interesting series. I should get it, and it was already out. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, it happened not too much longer after I ordered it. That the one's first print. I still number 4 is my favorite. My favorite cover is the Donkey Kong cover.
Yeah, that's
with
that's
like
so
Trump at the top, and there's like cops and Klansmen. And
I have that.
See, I don't have that.
I have that. It's in.
I have that because you showed that on a stream, and I literally, while you were talking, I bought it on eBay.
Me?
Yeah, you showed it on a stream.
Yeah.
Because what's her face does. You were talking about what's her face does. I forget who you were talking. Maybe it was with Jonathan.
Yes,
you were talking with Jonathan.
Yep.
And I would
grab it.
I bought like 3 Batman keys. I bought this.
That's dope. It usually lives right here, but I gave it. My wife is starting to read comics and graphic novels before bed, and I put it in her stack of stuff to read. It's usually right here because Black and Black AF are like my trades are easily accessible. They're amazing.
So is Black AF the second?
That's the second one.
So I need to get. So
this will be your first issue, but you'll want the trade,
and that'll probably matter. You'll probably want that.
So I'm glad I was going to actually read this next, but I'm glad I haven't yet because I need to read the first.
You can. They do a good job. You can read.
Oh, do they? I haven't read the second yet.
But you'll want to just read this first.
Well, but I mean, I want to get the trade. Also,
yes. No, that's you'll want that's what I meant. You'll want to read this series first.
All right, I'll look for that then.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, awesome.
No, I'm gonna
maybe this is I think my favorite comic that is in that stack of giveaways. So good grab, good first one.
All other comics are downhill, guys. Sorry.
I'll have to find some.
The way Todd says that's a first room message. I do because I think they're officially gone. They've been there for a little while now, and they're gone. So I'm happy to give it away because I have 2, and I don't have a lot of 2 awesome books I love because I'm not like a hoarder. I collect 1, and then I never let them go.
I've never had this on my phone where it showed me like I was charging my phone, it got up to 90%, and it's like, it'll finish charging at 6 a.m.
Yes.
I've never had that.
Yeah. You have an iPhone then?
Yeah.
Yep. That's from one of the new updates because
it learns like when
it learns your series of like
how it doesn't burn out your battery by overcharging. Yeah.
Yep. It steadies it at a certain rate and then it charges up when it thinks that you'll actually want it at 100.
See.
It's kind of freaky, but I love it.
Looks like Black is not on Hoopla.
Ooh. Well, I mean, Black Mask is terrible at marketing and everything.
Yeah.
Besides,
I did get to read Black in trade paperback. My library had it. I read it maybe last year, the year before that.
Ooh, that's a great idea. I want to buy it, but
yeah, no, that's cool.
But now that I can,
will let you read it quicker.
At least I don't.
I think it's more relevant now than it is when it was when it came out. You know,
it's one of those books that really, it was prophetic. Which is why I gave it to my wife because my wife has been she kicked off with like White Fragility and all she just went very much into the anti-racist, not just like being an ally, but the anti-racist books and all of that and trying her best because she is a business person, and she wants to represent as well as possible. And I think she'll really get a lot of Black and Black AF because it applies really well to where we are in the world.
So is it okay? No, it's up at the top. So this is the trade I want.
Yes, that's the one you want.
Okay, so look at that. Is that my
Are
library?
you the one that Hoopla is only movies and music, and you don't get to?
So I get Libby. I have Libby.
Oh, okay.
But if it's at my library, there's 16 available copies.
Ooh.
Through the 19 branches that are here in Columbus that they search through. So
sweet.
So it'll be. I'd rather read it in trade.
Yeah,
I can then.
Totally. And you can just keep this one nice because I just compared both of my copies. They're like fucking identical. I was gonna give you the better one because I don't care, and they're like, it's in good shape. So
well, mess one of them up.
You can keep that one. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, I spilled some beer and beef jerky on this. What am I gonna do? Oh no, where's the napkins at? Paper towels. I need some Brawny or Bounty to clean this up.
That's what I said.
You know what, Todd? Eat some Cheetos and then read the book and then send it to him. Read it one last time.
I feel like I couldn't be mad because it still is a gift.
It is.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I would be happy if someone gave me.
And every time you see those orange stains, you'll think of Todd.
Yeah, I'd be like, this isn't worth anything. But that's nice.
Do I want you to do that? No.
Oh man, that's a deep cut.
Yeah,
That's true.
right.
I don't use paper towel. Everybody remembers things from this stream way better than I remember them.
I didn't know you didn't use paper towel.
There was I didn't remember this because there was a whole thing where I spilled a lot and I grabbed towels because I don't use paper towels.
Oh.
And that's also why he doesn't read comics in paper form because he's trying to save the trees. Just like
that's where that came from. Yeah.
In comics, it's his way of justifying that he's pretentious and reads comics digitally when it really isn't the reason. But he's like, I do it to save the trees, and I don't use paper towels either. I use digital towels.
I quit paper towels, so I had a better justification for digital.
Why you read digital comics?
I think Poser put it best. I'm just bougie.
Okay. Hey. Well, Wes just jumped in with his picks, and
oh shit,
he said Mark. He goes, sorry, I'm late, but he picked Mark Hamill, Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
He's the one that voiced in Arkham Origins.
Yeah, he's the replacement.
Yeah, I'm sorry, no.
Wow. Wes.
So what movie was he? He had to be in another animated movie then.
Yeah. What?
The recount for real.
Wes, how do you get to review books for DC when your favorite movie Joker is Troy Baker?
Oh, and feature animated in Batman Assault on Arkham.
Okay, that's a good one. I don't get.
And he reprised his role as Two-Face and voiced Jason Todd. Whoa, he's been Joker, Two-Face, and Jason Todd. He can have a whole scene with just himself. That's just Troy Baker as everyone.
Hey, Todd, I had one quick question for you.
Yes, please.
When you show your digital comics, are you reading it on an iPad or?
I am. I'm reading on an iPad, a 2018 iPad Pro. The 2020 is bullshit. Don't buy it. If you want an iPad Pro, get the 2018 because the 2020 is not worth the price tag.
That screen is so magnificent, and I read whenever you show the comics that you're reading and stuff on the videos. I'm like, that screen is magnificent. Look at how big that screen is.
Yeah, that is.
I love it.
Here is black over top of the comic. It is 1-to-1 when it's in vertical. Obviously, it can't do. This is not a comic I can show the 2-page because that is from our guest and very nice. And it is midway through the comic. I will find a better example.
I think I'm going to jump out of here. I'm about ready to go crash. Unless you're going to end this real soon. There you go.
How's my iPad? Am I Todd for you?
Hey,
that looks nice.
Is that? What iPad version is that?
Great question.
It's the iPad one. The iPad. You're still using an original iPad? That's a Tom Haverford quote from, I believe.
It's been so long. Not so long, but
Who won't care if I show a splash page? I'm trying to think because I can't show. Nope, that comic has no splash pages. Oh, here we go.
Splash page.
This one, I assume no one will care about because it's just letters.
Ooh.
So that's the only time it's kind of a bummer, but this is when it works. The only problem when it sucks is when it's a really detailed 2-pager. Other than that, it's amazing because that's the full comic. That's holding up an entire comic. It isn't using even the whole screen, which is cool.
Yeah. I like digital. I don't have any issue with it. I only typically read it when I'm prepping for a show and I read a preview.
Yeah, you get the previews.
Or I'm trying to read a DC or a Marvel book to get
on the app or something.
Yeah, ready for the show. But I do a lot of reading on vacation. I read so many comics on vacation through.
Yeah, I think that's where it started with me is I read something out of convenience and I had my Fire 10 at the time. That's when I first tried digital comics.
Mm-hmm.
And my Fire 10 was every time I hit the page button, it took a second to load to the next one. And I was like, this is okay, but it's not fine. And I got this for video and photo editing for actual legit world reasons. And then I was like, oh, digital comic reader, I'll check that out. I put my comics on it and read it and I was like, oh, that's how it can work. It looks gorgeous. And when I hit the button, it's moving right to the next one. Like I'm flipping a page. And that's literally when it switched over. I still, if I had to choose Desert Island, give me my physical comic collection. 100%. But for convenience and being able to, I can cook and read comic books, give me my digital for where I'm at. But it's not, it still doesn't beat physical to me, but it's more convenient and it's what I'll do. Oh, we got that too.
We did?
Good. Yeah, we did.
Okay, bye.
So, hey, Steve,
we're gonna have him on soon.
Should I drop my interview with him on Wednesday night before?
Yes.
I felt so bad. Literally,
your guys' was so close to each other.
Well, he posted. So I had already shot it, and I always was doing
already done.
On Wednesday, and I always post on Wednesday, and he literally at 4 o'clock posted hey, answer questions. I'm like, oh gosh, I feel bad because it's going live in 2 hours.
It's just happening. And I was I saw it all happen. As soon as you posted it, I was like, I've already talked to Poser about this and I know what's happening. I'm like, oh no, those are going to happen so close.
Yeah. It was,
you both had very different interviews though. And they were both good. So
I mean, that's the thing too, is all of us that are doing interviews, there's so many that's going to happen where we have but
we do our best.
Overlap.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So, because Steve and Bearded, please stick around because I want to talk to you about something after this. But we're going to wrap this burrito because it's 1:30. We're well into late night. Thank you for sticking around. Congratulations, Bearded Comic Bro, on the first random ass shit Todd giveaway. I don't know what the abbreviation for that is, but I'll come up with a better acronym.
And there'll be a thing.
There'll be a thing. It'll be a whole thing. But congrats on the first win. This will be in the mail soon. Everybody else, fucking pick up the trade. It's so good.
Random Todd. Ratzga.
Rag.
Yeah,
Ratzga.
Random ass giveaway. Raga.
Well, giveaway is one word. Giveaway is one word, so you would just be rag.
Perfect. Random ass giveaway. Congratulations on the first rag. That's so burrito. I love it. Yeah. Congratulations on the first rag.
I want to call it a rag. Todd.
What? Todd's rag. Congratulations on Todd's the first Todd rag.
You don't want that.
You really don't. All right.
Want that.
But yeah, thanks for getting wrapped up with us. Have a good night. Thank you for being here for I'm Todd.
I'm Nick.
I'm Steve.
I'm bearded.
And this has been Comic Burrito, a live stream, late night. Have a good one.